Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Ha!
You did it, man.
I did totally do it. That's not one of my good ones. Hey, it is 5:45. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I was running late, and I blame you.
Okay, why?
Because you made me look at the boat.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure. And here's the thing on this guy. This is the way we live these days. Like, okay, no, Sarah, you said to me, look at the boat. No, Danny, you said to me. On my phone,
Let's go to the
let's
transcript.
go to the transcript.
Yeah, there's a record.
And it's Sarah saying big boat, which isn't the thing, right? Big boat, big boat, big, boat. Yeah.
No, toy boat.
That's like baby
Toy
back
boat.
ribs.
Toy
I can
boat.
do all of that. So anyway, good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Glad
Thank you.
kids. How you doing?
Doing great.
Awesome.
All right, here we go. So I'm on the treadmill this morning because that's the way I rolled, dude.
Yeah.
And I see the story on either the biggest cruise ship in the what cruise ship is it?
The biggest cruise ship in the world.
Begins with an N. Norwegian.
Norwegian, yeah.
The biggest
In
cruise
their
ship in the
line.
Norwegian fleet is coming in. It's room for 4,000 passengers. Now, they're crazy about service on these boats.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have at least another 1,000 service members, I would think, and crew. That's 5,000 people on a boat. That's an amphitheater.
It's
all onto a boat.
huge.
It's huge. So I did not see this great boat from my balcony, and Sarah was taunting me like she does with this supermoon. I think she makes up the supermoon
Most times,
that
yeah.
it's in the sky, and eventually I'll see it. So Sarah and I went back and forth about seeing it. Now, you think about it because you're on like the 80th floor or something like that.
7th.
7th floor. So you would think.
It's close.
But I look straight down on your house.
Right.
Because my house is only 2 or 3 stories. 3 stories. Oh, wow, what is it? But it's on the top of Queen Anne Hill. I'm
Right.
at least 500 feet higher up than you, and I could not figure out why I couldn't see this boat that I really wanted to see because it's just, it's a city. It's a small city. It could vote. I don't know which way it would go. I mean, I'm Democrat, but that's not the point. So it was just remarkable, and I couldn't see it, but then what I did see was a fireboat from the
Yes.
fire department.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
crazy looking.
Yeah.
How did you not see it? It
What?
was like in the same path when I was texting you. This cruise ship was coming into Elliott Bay,
Right.
just like a ferry. So
Yeah.
it's right out there, but closer to us than West Seattle.
Right. When you go, because I can see I can see all of downtown, and I can see the cranes over there in West Seattle, and I can see what appears to be most of the sound, a giant rectangle of sound.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. I think you saw it, and it wasn't where I needed it to be to see it yet.
Gotcha.
It pulled right when I was going to leave the house because I kept wanting to see it, and I kept going up to there's a loft on the very top of my house where you can see even more,
Yeah.
and it wasn't there. And what I think is happening is you were seeing it a place that I couldn't see, but it was rolling on in, and I
Gotcha.
saw it eventually when it got almost down to the pier.
Well, when I saw it, all right, I'm sitting on my couch and the TV news tells me that this cruise ship is coming in. And then I look out the window and there it is. Super weird.
Yeah.
And then it's trucking. The thing's moving pretty quickly. And there's the fireboat. And then there's like a police type tugboat thing. And you realize then there's a ferry. How big it is when you see all those different sized boats.
Right.
Because it makes the ferry look like a tiny little.
Yes.
Right. When I woke up, or when Sarah said, "Look at the boat," I went outside and went, "Oh wow, neat." And then about 5 seconds, I went, "Oh, that's the ferry."
Yeah.
Well, there's buildings. There's some buildings, and that thing was real close to shore. So there was stuff like intersecting it or dissecting it, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the real cruise ship, I went, "Oh, that is no ferry."
I thought it made the ferry look like a rowboat.
Wow.
And we know how many people fit on that ferry. So, Danny, you cannot go on that.
Do you know the
cruise
size
ship.
of the arms you'd have to row a ferry? I'm telling you. I mean, you could think that boat's a lot of things, but a rowboat, first of all, you'd have just a huge butt to sit down on the top
yeah.
deck and row away. No, I don't think so, Sarah. I do not accept your fantasy.
But you would get so lost on that cruise ship.
See, that's the real, and I don't want to be a punk the next, because I think I like cruises, but mostly, except for 1 or 2 times, I've been really drunk and shamefully am unclear of events.
Right. But I mean, you were sober on your last cruise and
Right.
you got lost.
Yep.
You need to leave breadcrumbs, but then somehow those just get swept up.
Well, I mean, I'm not lost for days. If I'm on the poop deck and in room 799, I'll eventually find the poop deck in 799.
There's signs, right?
Yeah, but they're not great.
Yeah.
They're not. It's a big boat. They're big and scary.
This is one of the biggest.
Yeah, it's the biggest in their line, and
Right.
I don't know in the world where it sits because 4,000 passengers is a bunch.
Derek, where does it sit in the list of biggest?
Number 9.
Wow.
Of the biggest boats in the whole wide world?
Correct.
That's amazing. I didn't think it was that
Wow.
big. Yeah, so it's crazy and it's beautiful. The architecture of those things is lovely. You know, I think it's a bonus to mankind. Well, 'cause, people might give it a hard time because it does have propellers and internal combustion engines, and it is in our fine, crystal clear seas. So some people might hate it. I do not. And if I hate it for any of that, I forgive it. Just for being, for being so
awesome,
bitching.
yeah.
For
Yeah.
bringing me that kind of joy.
The 9th wonder of the world.
On its, you turn it on its tip. Hey, Derek,
Yeah.
Yo.
turn the boat on its tip so it's laying on its butt and its nose is in the air. How tall is it compared to the Grand Pyramid of Giza?
I bet it dwarfs it.
You think the boat dwarfs it?
Yeah,
Is that what you think?
I do.
Well,
I mean,
that was a weird question. I'm looking at Derek like, hurry up.
he
Don't worry,
probably
buddy.
doesn't
You have
even know
other.
how
Yeah,
to figure that out. So how long is the ship
1,000 feet,
and how tall is the Pyramid of Giza?
800 feet.
Well, you just
I made
answered
up
your
The
the
own
ship
question.
is 1,093 feet for the
The
ship.
Pyramid of Giza is only 481 feet
It,
tall.
it beats up one of the real live wonders of the world.
Yeah,
Wow,
twice.
that's amazing. It beats up our Space Needle almost
Oh,
twice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, that's crazy to think about. If we picked up that big boat, put it next to the Space Needle, it would be
Almost
bigger.
It'd be about 40% taller.
Oh.
And I
that's
wouldn't
so
advise you to
crazy.
do either one of those things. Tip it on its end or put it
Again,
next to the space
If
needle.
you are going to sit down on top of a ferry and row it,
I wasn't doing that. Sarah
I
was
think
doing that.
you'd need those same arms, maybe even bigger arms,
Right,
to grab
yeah.
the world's 9th biggest cruise ship, put it on end, and put it next to the Space Needle.
I
That's
couldn't do it.
That's what I would do. Well, I could most certainly do it. I just can't do it right now. But of course, ew, I actually spit.
Yeah.
That's gross, man. Does Spike sit here? Because that made me laugh.
Yeah, it's not just Spike's beard on that microphone
Not
anymore.
anymore. Not anymore.
I just realized I don't have a condom for my
All right, well,
microphone.
it's kind of a personal
Do you
problem.
ever have a condom?
Yeah.
I'm looking over to think what I normally see.
We have a
She's-
lot of guests in the building, so it's entirely possible somebody borrowed
Oh, well,
something.
shut up.
Yeah,
Shut and up, as Danny says.
I didn't
Although
take it.
a couple of the people I know that are working down there are either current or ex just sluts, and they should totally need your microphone. I'll tell you that right now.
The nerve of them stealing my condom.
Yeah.
If that is indeed what happened. By the way, it's a big foam thing that gets over your microphone so you don't go, pleased to meet you. Although
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that. It's terrible radio. But anyway, so I'm sure we'll find you another one. There's not another one in the room.
Oh.
Anyway, it was exciting. So I had a little thing with my wife yesterday.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a little one.
You always have a little thing with your wife.
Where were you guys with that small wiener jokes? I'm sitting here waiting. So she went to Whole Foods, I think, and I was really unclear on this. Because she was crying hysterically.
Oh.
And by the way, I took the tiniest bit of umbrage with her crying hysterically.
Yeah.
So there's a car behind her so close you can't see. She wants its license plate number because she thinks this car's trying to kill her. And there's a lady behind her in this car screaming at her. But of course, Amy can't tell what she's screaming. So she goes around real fast, makes a turn real fast, and rolls down her window. And the woman yells, "Why are you always calling the police? Why do you always call 911? I will kill you." Clear
my
as day,
gosh.
I will kill you. So that's where you got to start paying attention.
And she can't call 911 at that point because she always does that, right?
But she did right,
Oh, yeah.
right then and there.
That's
No,
good.
this got then she and the cops. This is kind of interesting. The cops took her seriously. I didn't feel the cops took me that seriously when almost the same thing happened to me, except no one threatened. No, yeah, there were threats. They're going, "Where are you right now?" And she's going, 15th and Stinky. And they go, "Where are you right now?" 15th and 13th. Where are you now? 15th and 14th. Just like it's going down this street, Elliot, right here.
Yeah.
And she keeps giving them new things. And they're going, "Well, we're going to send someone out." And apparently she's so hysterical, they can't understand her.
Oh, my goodness.
So she comes home.
Is this woman still following her?
Yes. And then just at the last minute when she thinks maybe the cops will be here, the woman, Amy says she can see her fixate on another car, like, it just darted by her path and that one. And she went after another car.
Oh, geez.
So when she gets home, she bursts through the door and she's screaming at me, like pretty hysterically. And my first thought is, what'd I do? Because that's always my thought is, what did I do? And the second is, oh, I did that. Let's not admit to it. So I wanted her to calm down. And this went on Well, she was still talking about it in the evening news, so 5 hours of just not constant like it was when she got home, but a little bit later on.
She's just shaking.
Just shaking. Well, I want her to calm down.
Yeah.
She didn't get killed. The lady didn't kill her. The cops are going to get everything's going to be all right. So somehow I'm like an insensitive husband bastard because I don't think we should go hunt this woman down and kill her, which I think is irrational.
One student was injured and another is in custody after a stabbing yesterday at a school in Fife. Officers and medics responded to Columbia Junior High School on 54th Avenue East at 11:30 a.m. They had received reports of a disturbance. When the authorities arrived, a male student was found with stab wounds. That student was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Another male student was taken into custody, booked into Tacoma Juvenile Detention Center.
Jeez.
First-degree assault. Police say there is a long-standing dispute between the two students.
So not gangs.
They did not go into detail as to what this dispute is. It doesn't sound like gangs. It sounds like these two don't like each other.
Wow. I guess, I'm trying to think back what has become of us. But that kind of stuff happened when I was in like the late 1970s when I was in school. Man, you didn't want to go to Van Nuys High, which was in my neighborhood if I had not gone to a private school. And I don't know if this story is true or not. Do you guys know what curbing is in a fight?
Yeah.
The rumor is a guy did that to a guy at Van Nuys High. And aside from that, there was just murder and mayhem all the time at Van Nuys High. And that was, 6 miles from another place you didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So I think schools today are just as horrifying as any other day.
Target announced plans yesterday for 3 new Seattle area stores that they will erect over the next couple of years. They'll follow the model of the Pike Place location.
I followed the model. Nobody said that was awesome. Matter of fact, I think she got a restraining order.
Yeah.
These will be smaller stores located in dense urban neighborhoods that will be tailored to the area's needs. So, when you go to Target, there's the super store, then there's the downtown ones. The one downtown here at Pike, near Pike Place Market, doesn't have like a big produce section.
No.
It's pretty small, but it does the job.
I didn't even know Target's had a produce section.
They have the big Target supercenters that are both supermarket.
I've never been to one of those.
Yeah.
I've been to the one where I can buy a coffee maker,
Right.
or whatever it is that I buy at Target. I like Target. I'm glad they're not going away.
Big fan. It's just you can't get everything at the smaller ones.
At a downtown thing, no, you can't.
And now these ones are going to be even smaller?
These are going to be modeled after the Pike Place location. So
Okay.
they're not going to be the super centers.
Yeah, Walmart tried this with like neighborhood markets where they would put in smaller stores in different neighborhoods, and I think they've closed almost all of them.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know they had done that. Well, they're going to have a Ballard location, 15th Northwest and Northwest Market. That will be about 27,000 square feet and employ 50 people.
That doesn't sound smaller.
Yeah.
27,000 square feet.
But I bet if we look up how many square feet a super center is,
100,000 easy.
Yeah.
The other location will be the U District, and they said that one will emphasize on dorm and apartment food, and that one will be 21,000 square feet. So definitely trying to make it like more neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the U District, younger people going to have different things. Fewer adult diapers.
They have adult diapers? Well, I guess everybody has adult diapers, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm wearing some right now. I wasn't going to tell you guys, but since Sarah, Nasty brought it up.
I bet they're nice, though. I can see you in like some lacy adult diapers.
Yes, you can see me in lace underwear diapers if you really want to. Right here, man. I'm here for you.
The U.S. Geological Survey took a break from giving serious updates about Hawaii's Kilauea volcanic eruption to confirm what some people have questioned. You should not roast marshmallows over the scorching hot volcanic vents.
Okay, I can think of about 3 reasons why you wouldn't want to, but I would assume most normal people know those. So what are theirs?
Somebody on Twitter actually asked, is it safe to roast marshmallows over volcanic vents?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a long enough stick, what's the problem?
Well, how long is the long enough stick? Is it a mile?
Yeah, sure.
All right, then yes, you can.
According to the USGS, we're going to have to say no, that's not safe. Please don't try. Not only would it be unsafe, but the marshmallows would taste bad because the vents are releasing sulfur dioxide or hydrogen sulfide.
They have to
which-
get all sciencey on us.
Yeah.
Ruin everybody's fun.
So what if, and this is what I would do, I didn't know it was over vents. I mean, even I know that's stupid.
Yeah.
What about just over red hot lava, a pool of it?
Yeah,
Can I-
that sounds
Can I roast
safe.
my marshmallow now?
They said it's still releasing VOG, the volcanic smog. It's releasing
Is
basically
that what
rotten
VOG
egg
stands
smell.
for?
Yeah.
I read an article this morning that said it was producing a bunch of VOG.
Yeah.
And I thought of 87 things it could be. Volcanic fog.
Yeah, that's how I heard it.
Got it.
Smog.
Smog.
I heard fog, but either way, I've heard both ways. Now.
Bet you have.
What the reason they call it smog is because it's making
It's
the
dirty.
air so dirty and
Yeah.
gross. Fog is just condensed water.
They should call it smog.
Why?
Why?
Because of the cool references to Harry Potter.
I don't
Hey,
get
you
it.
can't wrote, there's no joke. It's a terrible name.
Okay.
So if you're going to have smog or fog, why not call it smog?
Because it's
Smog.
volcanic. You need a V in there.
Yeah, it's Vogue or Vogue.
Vogue! And then we can all dance.
All right, so that's your lesson learned for today. Do
Yeah.
not roast marshmallows over volcanic vents.
You can still get close enough to volcanic vents to do that?
Can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But we decided the lava is fine, the red hot lava.
No, it's still making smoke. I'm sticking with it, kid.
All right.
Police say 10 passengers on an Indonesian flight preparing to take off from Borneo were injured, many with broken bones and head wounds, after a man falsely said there was a bomb on board. Passengers overheard a 26-year-old man telling a flight attendant, "There's a bomb on this plane." This plane was carrying 189 passengers. They broke the emergency exit windows. People freaked out, tried to get
Who
off
broke
the
the
airplane.
emergency exit windows? The bad guys?
No, the people who heard them say there's a bomb, they're like, we got to get off this plane.
Like they're just going to jump out the windows?
It hadn't taken off yet.
Well,
Still.
that changes things dramatically.
So this was a flight preparing to take off from Borneo.
Yeah.
This man turns to the flight attendant and says, there's a bomb on this plane. People
Why?
are like, let me off.
Is he just a wild man? The wild man of Borneo? Is that an actual thing, the wild man of Borneo?
I don't know, but the wild man, why didn't the wild man wait till they were in the air?
I have no idea why this guy did anything he did, but I'm back to, is there a real, that's a thing. I've seen him, it's like Bigfoot, the wild man of Borneo. Is that a thing or did they catch it?
And he bombs airplanes?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking these questions.
So there's video
Hard-hitting questions.
that shows dozens of people standing on the Boeing 737's right wing. Some people slid down the right engine to land on the tarmac. 8 passengers had broken bones. Several had head wounds. They inspected the entire plane, and there was no bomb.
You know, you can't use that slide again.
Yeah, they
That's what I've
slid
heard.
down the wing and the engine. They didn't even get the slide
Wow.
out. These people freaked out thinking there was a bomb on board. They're trying now to figure out, why did this guy do this? Cause mayhem.
There were 2 wild men of Borneo. They were exceptionally strong dwarf brothers who were most famously associated with P.T. Barnum and his freak show exhibits.
Yeah, thank you very much. So they still exist, or is that it? Those are just those 2 midgets.
I'm going to guess that they no longer exist, those 2 little people, dwarves.
So, but it did exist?
Yes, they
Thank
did
you.
exist, yeah.
I appreciate
In
that,
the
Paul.
1870s.
Cool.
Back to the news. There is a photo from the 1970s that is circulating from a Vietnam War vet searching for his friend in this photograph. They don't know his real name, but this has been making the rounds on social media. They said his name was Louisiana. That was his nickname. That's what they called him.
Cool nickname.
Yep, they think he was.
Kansas City, also a cool
Oh,
nickname.
yeah, I like that one.
They said
I
that
love Kansas.
I know you do.
they've got this picture. A bunch of people over the weekend got together because it was obviously Memorial Day. There was a reunion amongst Vietnam War vets, and they've said to each other, we don't know who he is. Did he make it out? What was Louisiana's real name?
Yeah,
Has anyone ever talked to him again?
right.
Nobody has. So hundreds of thousands of people have viewed this post, and there's a video, and they said, we miss him. We want to track him down. This is a part of a healing process for many war vets, and they're hoping somebody will view this photo and either come forward or say, that was my dad or that was my brother.
So it's a photo of a guy looking?
It's a photo of a bunch of Vietnam War people fighting
Vets.
in the Vietnam War in Vietnam.
Okay.
So during the war. And this guy, a lot of people, carried photographs. This guy brought it home and said, "Where did Louisiana go? They're servicemen." So this picture is now circulating, and they're hoping that somebody can figure out who, hopefully he is now a Vietnam War vet, that he did make it out. So that photo is online now.
I'm a big fan of state and city names for people.
It's a nickname. It's not his real
Yeah, I
name.
know, but like Indiana Jones isn't his real name either. But Indiana, because he doesn't want to be used as Bartholomew or some such thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. We called the dog Indiana. That's Sean Connery's line.
Have you ever taken office supplies home from work, maybe accidentally or on purpose?
No, who would do that?
I do it all the time. I think it's my right.
Yeah.
I'm vastly underpaid, man. And I want these pencils.
Absolutely.
Well, some people have been asked the question, have you ever used the printer at work to print personal documents?
Oh, I've done that.
I have never done that. You know
Really?
why? Because I
'Cause you
have
don't
no
know how.
idea how printers work. In my mind, a printer is a guy you pay to print things. A scribe. A scribe is what I mean.
Yeah.
New surveys show 100% of office workers have stolen a pen.
Well, if you look at it as theft,
It is theft. It
I
doesn't
don't
belong
think
to
it is.
you.
I think I'm welcome to it. I think if I had to walk down the hall and hassle my boss and say, "Can I have these 90 cents worth of crap?" he would say, "Yeah." So I instead don't waste his time and I don't waste the walk. I just take them because they're mine.
Like that is theft right there.
I disagree. I'm admitting to it. Do you see the cops coming to the room? No. I say no.
I don't think I've
Damage.
ever stolen a pen. In fact, I bring my own pens. I've added pens to make up for the pens that Danny steals.
I don't believe you.
I like
Really?
my
You
deal
bring them
better
from
than
home?
I do, yeah. I like a particular type of pen, and so I bring it from home.
Have I stolen yours or have I stolen one from the
You've probably stolen mine, yeah.
Do you know what's weird with all this talk? I really haven't stolen any pens. I steal paper.
You steal paper, yeah.
Yeah.
And coffee.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
in the days when I drank that crap.
Chairs sometimes.
Yeah, you stole a chair.
I did?
Yeah.
I think you might have
least
brought
Oh,
it back.
Butch, no, I asked for that.
Oh, okay.
Nobody said
I
yes.
stole the pillow.
Oh, pillows, too.
Pillow
yeah.
for sure.
I don't think you asked for it. I think you
I didn't.
later
And-
pretended like
but
you
the-
had brought it
But
in.
then I admitted to it to see what was going to happen 'cause I thought I was caught. And it turned out I didn't, and I confessed for no reason.
Okay, 100% of office workers have stolen a pen, and they say you may not think much of this, but the cost has added up to hundreds of billions of dollars
Wow.
each year.
Not just for our company. That's everybody, right?
But I realized in my computer bag right now, I've got several pens that are not mine.
They're probably mine.
Are yours these Bic ones?
No. Pilot G2.
I think I've got some years over here on that thing, but I didn't put them there.
Yeah.
I'm a thief. I admit it.
You know why I haven't stolen your pens? Because there's no use for a pen in my world.
There's nothing to be written ever.
No, I don't write anything here. At home, sometimes I wrote a note that says, "I love you, Pookie Face."
Yeah.
And I do appreciate when you send me those notes, Danny.
You're more than welcome.
For 132 years, Coca-Cola has been putting out non-alcoholic beverages until now.
Wow.
This week, Coca-Cola introduced 3 fizzy lemon drinks at 3% alcohol, 5% alcohol, and 7%
Now
alcohol.
we're talking. If I'm going to relapse, I want it to be stupid.
Now, they said that these are grain-based alcohols and flavored carbonated water. They have lemon, salty lemon, and honey, and then honey lemon.
These things better be clearly marked.
Well, these are presently...
Reach for something that looks like a Coke, start chugging, and my eyes will explode.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be on the same shelf as like the non-alcoholic sodas.
I'm not at the store buying. I mean, in my home. Open it
Oh,
up,
okay.
Look,
Somebody's tricking you at
It
home.
looks totally different. The can could not be mistaken for a regular Coca-Cola can. Different colors, different writing. But they are rolling this out in Japan. And some people, I know this is going to sound weird, but like the 3%, people might drink it at lunch or for breakfast, that they don't really think that much about drinking a 3%. The 7%.
somebody
that's
might
good.
drink it for breakfast.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know,
Where
that
is that?
sounds
I want to
super
live
weird.
there.
Think about like some people have a Bloody Mary.
Sure, yeah.
So this is
On a
just
Tuesday.
a little something, something. Now, they said, well, they'll see how this rolls out, but that's why the flavors are a little bit weird. The salty lemon, that's not really something you think of for an American.
Yeah.
I would
Palate.
try that.
You
So
would
what
drink
are they-
salty lemon?
What are they going
Look
to
who
give
you're
us?
talking to. I would drink if
Oh.
it said
Right?
rust and sweat.
Yeah.
But 7% alcohol. I would totally drink that.
They said they're also hoping to appeal to female drinkers with the different levels of alcohol. If the girl wants to be dainty, she might drink the 3%er.
Right.
They'll see how it goes and then decide if they will roll that out here or not.
And are they really saying that we made this to appeal to female drinkers? Because that didn't work very well for Doritos with their Lady Doritos.
Yeah, that was stupid.
No, Japan has a couple of these. South Korea has some of these where they'll market it in pink bottles, the soju or the light fizzy sake, and they're lower in alcohol, and it's supposed to appeal to chicks.
And they get away with that,
Yep.
and Doritos doesn't.
Yep. Do you want me to cause an uproar?
Yeah, I think you should.
This is outrageous.
As a woman, I think you should be.
As a woman, I'm offended
Did
by
you just
this.
say as a woman you're offended, Paul?
She should be, yeah.
Oh, she should be.
Right, exactly.
Seemed to me that you just said as a woman I'm offended.
No,
Are you
it's-
telling her that how she should feel?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
As
And
a
you
man,
should.
As a man, I think that's my job to tell the women folk how they should feel.
Don't get mad, but as a man, I think chicks that drink are awesome.
Tori, aren't you outraged?
Well, yeah, I'm pissed. Actually, I'm happy. I'm really happy about this.
Tori has no
I
idea
get
what the
drunk
story
so
was.
fast.
You get drunk so fast, so the 3% would be good for you.
I think it'd be a good thing. I really do.
Well, and Tori's being reasonable. She's right.
Yeah.
That there are a lot of women who want a little something but don't want to drink too much
Right.
because then, like Tori, you fall over.
Yeah, but there aren't a lot of women like Dory that weigh 90 pounds.
Right.
That's an endangered species right there.
Yeah.
And also in the news, a little piece of history is on the market in California. An oceanfront estate in San Clemente, dubbed the Western White
Yeah.
House, is up for sale.
When you said, I go, there's only one thing there. It's the Nixon Library and where he lived.
Yeah.
It is the house once owned by Richard Nixon. He hosted all sorts of parties and people. And most recently, it's owned by a former pharmaceutical exec named Gavin Herbert. This is a big piece of property. 9,000 square foot main house.
Wow, that is big.
Walled estate, guest house, swimming pool, tennis court, greenhouse, beachfront, 450 feet of beachfront, and an isolated bluff panoramic ocean views. It could be yours, Danny.
For?
$63.5 million.
Whoa.
I don't know that his neighbors. It's an expensive neighborhood, but not like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
$63.5 million. Well, this pharmaceutical exec probably did some modernizing from the Nixon era, so I'm going to guess this house is pimp.
Look at that guy, how he rolls, man, because he's hosting parties and dignitaries and stuff.
Yeah.
He's not near anything. They have to get in cars and drive. I'm going to go 70 miles, whether they're in L.A. or San Diego. I'm not sure how far he is from San Diego, but who has parties like that? Says, hey, Kissinger, you want to come to my house? Now you have to get on a flight and a helicopter and a thing and do a tug of war, and then you're going to drive to my house.
The tug of war, huh?
I don't know, man. I almost wore my Battle of the Network Stars hoodie today, and that made me mind about that terrible tug of war.
Chuck E. Cheese. Someplace you take kids for birthday parties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and punch the other kid's dad in the face.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Typically, when you go to a birthday party there, you get pizza.
Yeah,
Right.
and drunk.
You get pizza and drunk.
How do they get so drunk? Because I don't think that's more than 5% alcohol in those beers.
No, and they normally have pretty light beers
Yeah, and
there.
it's horrifying, if I remember correctly.
And it's expensive, too. Everything there
Well,
is
you should
pricey.
normally do what I do and bring in little tiny bottles of vodka, stuff in your underwear.
they
helps.
don't strip search you at Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, it's fun, Paul.
All right.
Chuck E. Cheese is now going to be rolling out pizza delivery. They think people like the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese so much.
Well, they're wrong.
Yeah, they're totally wrong about that.
They have tested it in Dallas, Tampa, Orlando, Miami, and San Francisco, and they say now nationwide it'll be through Grubhub, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. They said people love having Chuck E. Cheese's pizza, so now you can order it at home.
Yeah, I think they're wrong about that. But
Yeah.
I know they did some testing, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's people that are going, hey, kids, you can get that Chuck E. Cheese pizza that you had that you liked so much. So it's specifically for children.
I think they got to send the rat. If you send the rat to your house, then there's something to it.
I would think the rat is going to have difficulty driving in the rat suit. Can't see, got no little tiny Tyrannosaurus arms.
He can take his head off, like in the car, as long as he puts it back on before my kid sees
No,
it.
because as he's driving by, a kid's going to see it.
I don't care about our kid. I care
there
about
was
my
actually
kid.
a lawsuit that
Yeah.
somebody saw the rat without its head and traumatized their kid.
Oh, wow.
Well, I just thought I remembered you guys saying that the pizza's not good.
It's not good.
No, it's not good. And it's super expensive.
Yeah, very strange. It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
Boynton Beach police say officers had a good reason for arresting a Boca Raton man after he stopped to ask for directions. Police say Denny Sanchez stopped his car next to police on the side of the road and said, "I'm lost." And they said, you're slurring. You smell of alcohol. You have bloodshot eyes. And he continued to ask for directions. They went over to his car where they found beer cans strewn everywhere. Said, blow into this. He did. 0.186 and
Pretty good.
0.198.
Yeah, officially good. Officially good.
Police said, well, we are happy to provide you with directions, but if you drink and drive, the only place you're going is the Palm Beach County Jail.
Dun, dun, dun. Comfortable place, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah? Have you spent some time there?
Not in real time.
All right.
2 hours till I made bail. Oh, no. I've never been there. Never mind. Take it back. Daytona Beach.
It was right up the street. Yeah.
Dade County, yeah.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida. Oh, Danny.
What'd I do?
Drugs, if I remember correctly.
On that one?
particular- Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
In a
sure
dare
that's it.
shirt.
Yeah, in a dare shirt. That was a bummer, that one, really. But that kind of started my radio career, to be
Yeah.
honest with that moment. Everybody wanted to interview the guy from the Partridge Family that was busted in a dare shirt because he's such an idiot.
Yeah.
And I went around and by the fifth city, a GM said, man, you're good at this. Why don't you just stay? And I was in the radio from that moment on.
Totally worth it.
If my career starts to go downhill, I'm going to get busted for something else.
Want to remind you guys that at 7:30 this morning, we've got a special return of Life Coach with special guest Rick Jones.
Rick Jones!
Rick Jones will be here in studio at 7:30 asking or taking all of your questions about divorce. So if you've ever had a question, if you're going through a divorce, thinking about a divorce, child custody, all that jazz, free advice, 7:30. Be here for that.
I think that anybody that is married is in some way thinking about divorce on any given day.
Yeah, and if you weren't before, you really should start thinking about it. Rick Jones is going to be
He's
here.
going to give. If it crossed your mind, like how much would it cost? Give us a call this morning, 7:30, about an hour.
We need to take a break when we come back. However, in entertainment news, a TV star did something incredibly stupid and awful and is paying the price. We'll
Danny.
tell you what she has to say about that this morning. A band did something amazing for one of their young fans, and we've got the audio. Plus, you can win Mariners tickets next. You remember last week we talked about a very rabid of the band Weezer.
Yeah.
We're not talking about your son, who is also a big fan of Weezer.
And my wife, apparently, a big fan. I doot. Isn't that one of their songs? Yeah.
That one?
Well, this fan is a 14-year-old named Mary, and she started a Twitter campaign asking the band Weezer to cover Toto's Africa. So last week, you remember, they did come out with a cover of Toto's Rosanna,
Right.
and it sounded great.
Sounded great.
And she said on Twitter, it's not every day you get trolled by Weezer. She was a good sport, thought it was very funny.
Okay, now getting trolled is usually a negative thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And why would she make that reference?
It's not always negative. It's her comment is also a joke.
Okay.
So yesterday, Weezer made Mary's dreams come true. They released their version of Africa.
He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to check.
Okay. They should start a new band.
Yeah, where they just
And
do
do
Toto
cover-
covers.
Covers are us.
Of Toto. Yeah. It's great.
It's so good.
fantastic.
Are they that? Well, I'm assuming they are, but just for fun, I'll ask the question: are they that good when they do Weezer stuff?
I love Weezer. I'm a
'Cause
big
the
fan.
only song I even partly know is the one that goes dit and dit.
They are good. They are good musicians.
There's a song that goes dit
Beyond
and
that,
dit, right?
Yeah, there is.
That's Island in the Sun. Derek, play it again for him.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
There it is. Yeah.
dit and dit. I should do a cover of this song.
So they released their cover of Toto's 1982 hit Africa, and Mary wrote on Twitter, "Looks like Weezer finally blessed the rains in Africa," which is a line from the song.
Right.
But the
I
covers,
saw the guy that sings that song play guitar and sing a bunch of songs.
you saw
He
him
was
where?
in the Ringo Starr All-Star Band.
Aha, one of the guys from Toto.
Yeah, I think. I might just be
Or
saying that.
Weezer. Which one?
No, definitely no Weezer. No. He's about 50 years too young to be in Ringo Starr's All-Star Band.
So good sports,
Yeah.
the band Weezer, and that song is out there now. It's a great version.
And one of those cool things where my son and his stepmother went to a concert together and bonded.
Very
like
cool.
that, yeah.
While many people were barbecuing and catching up on sleep over the long holiday weekend, Snoop Dogg was making history and breaking records with gin and juice. He took the stage at the Bottle Rock Napa Valley Music Festival, a huge music festival on the West Coast, and he decided to get together with rapper Warren G, Top Chef Season 6 winner Michael Voltaggio,
Yeah.
William Sonoma, the kitchenware maker. They helped this. He broke the Guinness World Record for the largest paradise cocktail. Sipping on gin and juice, they said this cocktail measured 132 gallons, 180 bottles of gin,
I could drink it.
154 bottles of apricot brandy, 38 jugs of orange juice. And then to make it a paradise cocktail, it has a pink umbrella and a giant straw.
Okay, is a paradise cocktail just the umbrella?
But that's, I guess, what it needs to have that to qualify.
Yeah,
for a
that's
paradise
very
cocktail.
cool. Who
That
drank it?
sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, they all drank it.
Did they?
Oh, Snoop Dogg was the first one taking a sip out of the giant straw.
I bet. Awesome.
He's such a good sport.
He is a very good sport. You know, he's about 800 years old.
On to entertainment news. Gosh, everybody yesterday and continuing today to talk about Roseanne Barr. Now, we've been talking about Roseanne quite a bit in entertainment
Yeah.
recently because of the reboot of the TV show Roseanne.
Yeah, I just watched it again last night.
Oh, Toto should sing that. Roseanne, Roseanne, and then put like she's a racist and stuff like that in
They
there.
should, yeah.
A lot of people were watching her show. It was so popular. It was the number one show on
How
television.
popular was it? Oh, you just said. Sorry.
They renewed it right away. Everything was going great until Roseanne took to Twitter, and her tweets were deemed to be racist and pretty awful. She apologized, claimed she was leaving Twitter, but then the hail and fire and brimstone rained
Right.
down on Roseanne. Her show was immediately canceled.
Now, she was going after somebody, right? A specific person?
A Obama advisor named Valerie Jarrett.
Right.
Yeah.
She is African American. And Roseanne Barr likened her to an ape with her tweet.
Well, you're fired.
Yeah.
I don't know how that even got past your fingertips without knowing you're fired. And, let's just throw in, although, I'd like to hope we all know it, but it's wrong. You can't do it. It's bad to do it. Aside from the fact that you're fired, people look up to that lady. There are white trash people all over the country that look up to her.
It was an unbelievably insensitive, awful thing for Roseanne to have done. And honestly, it was almost immediate. They said, okay, we're not even thinking about this. We're not even waiting
Right.
to hear the excuse. You are fired.
That was the quickest I've seen
Me too.
anybody act, and particularly for a hit show. You'd think
Yep.
they, weigh
Try and
the,
figure out a way to save it.
weigh
You're
the
making money.
financial, yeah. But you can't do that show without her, right? Do you just
No.
continue the show and replace Roseanne?
That she's dead somehow. Oh, you get another lady to
Get a
do
different
it?
Roseanne?
Maybe.
I think that would be funny.
I think it'd be funny for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could have killed her off. And then at the end, it would have been like, oh, I woke up and this whole thing was a dream.
Like when they killed off Dan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, they have decided to fire her altogether.
Yeah.
She apologized, said, I'm leaving Twitter now. But this morning, late last night, early this morning, she said, it was 2 a.m. I was ambient tweeting. It was Memorial Day and I went too far. I do not want it defended. Please don't start a boycott. It was the right thing to do. So she's not defending herself.
Was there anybody
but
starting a boycott?
I'm sure there's some people who want that show back on.
And
I'm sure.
there are supporters of hers, on the internet. Look on the internet, and
Right.
there's going to be plenty of racists saying,
Right.
that wasn't as racist as it could
I
have been.
don't think the company, the parent company of that television show is going to go, oh, man, all the racists want it back on.
Right,
Quick.
yeah.
look at the numbers with the Klan. It's out of control how
Yeah.
popular that woman is.
She's gone back and forth on Twitter from apologizing, then attacking, executives at ABC, attacking other cast members, saying, how dare you throw me under the bus? Why aren't you supporting me?
You threw yourself under the bus.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. I don't believe I have done anything intrinsically evil, but I know what it's like to be fired. Wake up, you're fired. The presser outside, Geraldo Rivera wants answers, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And you're hiding, in the farthest window or door away from the windows, and you're a fool, and everybody hates you. It's the worst feeling in the world. Now, I'm kind of sure that she deserves it, but part of me is going, ooh, I know what you're going through, and it's embarrassing, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to feel bad for the other people on the show because some of these people were getting a second chance
Yeah.
at an acting career.
Just some of these people, this show, both, showings of it is the only thing they've ever really done. It's their only career success they've had.
What's that son done?
Nothing that I'm aware of. Yeah.
Nothing.
DJ?
I don't even know who the son is. DJ?
Yeah. So there's a couple of the kids on the show. The sister on the show didn't have, a huge career outside of Roseanne.
The Johnny Galecki kid and
he did okay. Yeah.
He did just fine. And John Goodman, that's kind of about it.
Johnny Galecki, that's the guy from the Big Bang Theory, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that show?
Yeah.
He was a recurring character, yeah.
Oh, neat.
One of the daughter's boyfriends.
Hulk Hogan made a bit of a Twitter gaffe, but nothing like Roseanne's. Nothing at all. He took to Twitter, Hulk Hogan, and shared a very moving tribute to his brother, Bam Margera. He said, I sure would love to hang out with my brother. Love you, miss you, Hulk Hogan. And tweeted a picture of Bam Margera. Damn, Bam, I wish you were still with us.
No, that's not good at all.
That sounds sweet.
But
Yeah.
Isn't Bam Margera still alive?
Yep.
Oh.
That's the problem. People then, of course, took to Twitter to remind Hulk Hogan that he is still with us.
Maybe he just meant like still with us, like me and the people, like with my,
I don't know.
me and my group of friends, like you were still hanging out with us.
That is a very odd thing because, I know for a fact that the Hulkster likes to throw a few back. And then he's also in incredible pain with his joints and things like that. So sometimes he takes really strong pills with a really strong drink. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
One of those guys, one of the Jackass guys died, Ryan
Yes.
Dunn.
So that's
maybe
what
another one too.
That's what they're thinking. It was probably meant to say.
Was he in the picture too, hanging out with Hulk Hogan?
No.
Can you
Oh,
imagine
damn.
doing that kind of stuff for a living and you get killed in a car accident?
Right, yeah.
That's terrible. Well, it's not that great either way.
So I haven't seen a response from Hulk yet. I don't know if he's going to tweet, oops.
But ABC has already canceled his show, so that
Yeah,
was
absolutely
interesting.
nice. Yeah.
Andrea Constant, the first woman to pursue charges against Bill Cosby for sexual assault, is now breaking her 13-year silence for an interview with NBC News' Kate Snow. This will be something that airs on Dateline this Friday.
I like her.
It's June 1st already. So this Friday on Dateline, Bringing Down Bill Cosby, Andrea Constant Speaks
Wow.
is the name of it. So this will be her first sit down to discuss all of this. So again, that will be Friday on Dateline. And publisher Bethesda Softworks yesterday said they are putting out another version of Fallout. They've teased a new Fallout game by releasing a gift of the Please Stand By test card, which people who play Fallout know this is a huge, huge deal. Now, they didn't release information about when this new Fallout will be available, but they're going to have a press conference on June 10th at 6:30 p.m.
Is it just a shoot 'em up game?
It's role-playing. It's the apocalypse, and you have a gun, and you've got a dog, and you are looking for your dad, and you go to find him while playing this.
I have a gun and a dog. I like
Yep.
this game.
Yeah.
And there's zombies, and it's the apocalypse.
All right.
Hugely successful video game, so much so they're having a press conference, announcing a press release to announce the press conference to announce when the new one's coming out.
I follow that completely.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Oh, the Mariners yesterday. Oh, they ended their 4-game win streak.
No, they ended. You ended. Every time you get excited about a win streak. First it was a 5-game.
Yep.
You snapped it with your jinx, and now this 4-game streak you snapped again.
I did.
Well, that's terrible. Why don't you stop doing that?
Can also blame Rougned Odor because it was his 3-run double in the 9th that sent the Rangers past the Mariners 9-5.
Okay, it could be that guy's fault.
Well, if you were at last night's Mariners game at Safeco Field, you need to start calling us right now to tell us what song played during KZOK Mariners Music Trivia. You know it, the song lights up the stadium. It blasts throughout the stadium. Call us right now and tell us what was a song from last night's game. Call 800-252-1025 now. The first person to tell us win tickets to what, Derek?
Tickets for the game on Friday night versus the Tampa Bay Rays, which just happens to be Mariners Pajama Bottoms night.
Mariners Pajama Bottoms night.
All right, call right now, 800-252-1025. They resume play today, playing the Rangers again, 7:10 start time. Danny, your best friend, Big Maple, is pitching.
Yeah, I love that guy.
James Paxton. Texas sends up Matt
I
Moore.
read all his books.
You do?
That's Patterson. James Patterson.
I was thinking that guy looks a little fat and slow to pitch.
So Texas sends up Matt Moore. That's what you
said
say.
Matt Less.
Matt Less.
Is that what I say? I'm scared.
Are they going to have the Big Maple dog out again?
I
at
certainly
Safeco?
hope so.
Yeah, they better.
I'm a vegetarian and I want to eat that.
Yeah, it sounds so delicious.
And is
Hot
it,
dog on a maple bar.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not, when this whole thing's over and we haven't had one, I'll make us some.
Oh, it sounds good.
I'm a
a good
fine hot
point.
dog maker.
We could just celebrate next time he's on the mound. 'Cause we're out of time today, but we'll go to Top Pot.
Yeah,
And then we'll just bring in hot dogs and make them right here.
sounds
Now,
good.
what do you want me to do? Put it on top or carve a hole through the maple bar and put the hot dog in
Oh,
it?
that's
yeah,
genius.
I think that's the way
Yeah,
we
that's
got
the
to
way to
go.
go.
Yeah.
Do you have the tools?
Oh, are you kidding?
All right.
I got the tools and I got the time.
Seahawks news. Brandon Marshall will switch coasts to continue his NFL career. The 34-year-old wideout is signing with the Seattle Seahawks. Yay! Brandon Marshall posted pictures of himself in a Seahawks shirt on Instagram. This is 13th season. So welcome to town, Brandon Marshall. By the way, he has not made playoffs once in his career.
Really?
Yep. He's,
Why do we have him?
It's not one man's fault. I mean,
I
maybe
think it
you could
is
blame
one
the
man's
quarterback. But no, it's not his fault. He played for the Jets. He played for the Giants at the down times in their
Turn it around.
Turn it around. Plus, this guy's trying to replace Jimmy Graham, right?
well, he's got to replace a lot of people, but Jimmy Graham is who he's being compared to because of his size.
Right.
Yeah.
But
He's
they
not
say-
as big as Jimmy. Jimmy was the largest man I ever saw with that kind of muscle power and dexterity. But he's 6'5", I believe.
He's huge. But he's going to be competing with Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, but good player. And it's nice to have somebody with history, somebody who's older to lead the young folk.
Yeah.
To the not going to the playoffs.
Well,
No, we are
don't
going to
lead
the
him in that
playoffs.
direction.
Well, I mean, that's the way to lead. I mean, lead by example.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Storm beat the Washington Mystics 81-77. Tomorrow, they take on the Las Vegas Aces at 7 o'clock. And the NBA Finals, Game 1 is tomorrow at 6, and it's the Cavs at Warriors again.
Pretty amazing, though, really.
And believe it or not, TNT's coverage of the Warriors' win over the Houston Rockets in Game 7 Monday night was one of the biggest NBA of games ever. It was the second highest rated ever on cable television.
Wow.
Including finals?
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was
That is
also the
amazing.
highest rated NBA game of the season on cable or broadcast TV.
My goodness gracious.
A lot of people watching that.
Watching the NBA playoffs is tough, too, because they take so many commercial breaks. Like, they'll come back, especially in the NBA Finals. They'll come back, do like 30 seconds of play, go to a 3-minute
Yeah.
commercial break, come back,
true.
do a minute and a half, go to a 3-minute commercial break.
Yep.
It's tough to watch.
Well, you can tomorrow if you so choose to. Game 2 between the Washington Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights. Hockey tonight at 5 o'clock. Vegas leads the series 1-0.
Go Tips.
Serena Williams took some time off the tennis court to have a baby.
Right.
She was back. Her first match in the French Open. She wore a full body catsuit.
Yeah, I was going to say that, delivering a baby can take some things out of you, but usually not fashion sense. Oh, push. Hey, I'll wear a catsuit.
Yeah.
She said, all the months out there, I had a tough pregnancy. I had to come back and try to be fierce. And that's what this represents. You can't beat a catsuit.
That's really her reason?
Yeah.
Because it didn't hold her in place. And I know that when I'm feeling out of shape and sloppy, I wear a catsuit.
Oh,
And it's
absolutely.
really tight. And it's like a wetsuit. And I look like a superhero in it.
Yeah.
She wanted to make a statement. I think that's what it was. And it did. It was pretty outrageous.
Yeah, it was. And then, because I thought there were rules about what you can wear and what colors you can wear.
Wimbledon.
It's like a gang. That really playing tennis. It's exactly like being in the crypts.
Yeah,
playing tennis,
absolutely.
and they tell you what colors you can wear.
Believe it or not, only Wimbledon is the one that's got the real strict rules on wearing white.
Really?
So she will not be wearing a catsuit at Wimbledon.
No, but I mean, usually you wear a little skirt and something. You wear a little skirt over that catsuit.
You should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she can wear whatever she wants. It seemed like a weird choice.
Congratulations to Andy in Marysville. He was at last night's Mariners game and knew the song. Mariners KZOK Music Trivia was Hound Dog from Elvis Presley.
Wow, really?
Mixing it up.
Mixing it up.
Andy in Marysville is going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up tickets to, I forget, what does he win?
Andy won tickets for the game Friday night at 7:10 versus the Tampa Bay Rays, which just happens to be Mariners Pajama Bottoms night.
Mariners Pajama Bottoms night.
Friday night is Mariners Pajama Bottoms night when the Mariners take on the Rays. They're comfy, cozy, and free to the first 10,000 fans. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
I love that.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Getting pajamas, that's a good night. All right, they're at home again tonight versus Texas. First pitch, 7:10. So you guys pay attention during that game because you'll have a chance to win tickets again tomorrow morning right at this same time. And tonight, American Ninja Warrior is back.
Yay!
Woo-hoo.
I've been watching DVR episodes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it doesn't lose that much, man. It's an amazing show.
It is so amazing. I mean, these guys are badasses. American Ninja Warriors, they're probably some of the best athletes alive today.
I'll tell you this, if you're not completely clear on what this is, they're some of the greatest athletes flat out. But all the people that you think are the world's greatest athletes
Yeah.
couldn't get through the first phase.
Oh, yeah.
You're over 200 pounds, you're not going, in my opinion. I've seen 200-pounders going, and it's amazing that they can do it. But if you want to win American Ninja Warrior, you want to be 5'10", 165. But then that girl that's 5'2",
Yeah.
she, like Christy or something, she is amazing. Like when anybody does well at all on that show, then you look and go, that's the most amazing human being alive today. I know that seems like a stretch for something to watch it. It's the most amazing thing ever.
This is season 10, believe it or not, and they're actually changing it up this year.
Ooh, what do you mean?
For the first time, athletes as young as 19 can compete. So one of the contestants had something super interesting to say about that. Here's some audio from American Ninja Warrior contestant Mathis Ohadi.
So when I first started training, I had no idea that it would take me to where I am today. And then I learned they dropped the age limit to 19, which was just like a surreal moment. I was like, oh man, I thought I'd have 2 more years to train. It just got real.
It just got real.
real.
Dig that guy.
So he's training and planning, okay, in a couple of years I'm going to be on that
Yes.
show.
Right.
And then he gets the call, no, hey, man, you're on right now.
I was going to say when I was thinking about football players, 6'4", 275, you can't, you don't have it. It's
Yeah.
somebody like I said, but it's an amazing show, but there's nothing that'll get you ready for it. The
No.
closest thing I can think of is rock climbing. That seems to be people who do fairly well, and gymnasts, but I think it's the greatest show on TV, so watch it and shut up.
Well, get ready for the 2-hour American Ninja Warrior premiere, 8 p.m. This is on NBC. So much good stuff. So don't forget, that's American Ninja Warrior tonight on NBC. And sports this morning is brought to you by 1-800-DUIOA. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA, Bradley Johnson Attorneys.
All right, give me your attention. We need to talk about 1-800-DUIOA. I've told this before. Washington has some of the worst, not worst laws. You shouldn't drive drunk. But if you get caught driving drunk, they'll turn your world upside down, and you need a lawyer. Call 1-800-DUIOA. They will fight hard for you and meet you in Seattle, Everett, and Tacoma. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you get a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUIOA. That's 1-800-DUIOA. Hey, it is 7:03, and we are going to try and make the best of a tough situation. That is, if you're thinking about getting a divorce or somebody's thinking about divorcing you, that can get really, really expensive as well, emotionally, quite the turntable. If you've been thinking about it or somebody's been thinking about doing it to you, you want to call her this morning at 7:30 because Rick Jones will be right here in studio giving you free legal advice.
We were talking about the state of Maine and their D.O.T. program.
Yeah.
For the summertime, you'll see a lot of those signs on the side of the road. Most of the time, what you'll see is DUI patrols out this weekend, or you'll see click it or ticket.
Right, that's a good one.
But you know what I'm talking about, that you'll see them, trying to encourage people to drive safely. And Maine decided to kind of lighten it up a little bit. And they tried to have a campaign and have people write in, what do you think would be funny to have on the side of the road? Something to get people to click it or ticket. And you guys didn't like any of them.
No, they were terrible.
I don't even remember them. That's how bad they are. You should remember them. That's why I remember Click It and Ticket.
One was like, watch how you drive because the moose don't have eyes or something like that.
I kind of, Sarah likes that. I kind of like that, to be honest. And then we got in a big fight about do they reflect?
Yeah.
Keep in
Poorly.
mind, moose eyes don't shine.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I rethought it as stupid again.
Spend money on lobsters, not speeding tickets.
Well, that's a terrible one.
A little known fact, snow is really slippery.
Noah is really slippery.
Cold supper is better than a hot ticket.
Yeah, okay, you were right. I hate these.
Yeah.
These are stupid.
All right, so I've decided to put the challenge out to you guys
Uh-oh.
because you were the ones really poo-pooing these.
Yeah, we were.
So
Yeah, no, you're right.
give me something better. What's your DOT slogan, my
Paul, you
friends?
got a DOT slogan?
Yeah, actually, I got one I think would be good for Danny because you're always getting in, well, not always, but a couple of times you've gotten into accidents while checking out chicks on the side of the road, right?
Yeah.
So how about, I don't know, keep safety in mind, don't watch her behind.
No, it's very
Does
good.
that work?
I like that.
Because it has to rhyme or just be catchy.
It doesn't have to rhyme. I
Has
was
to be
thinking about
catchy.
it there. Like, it's easy to make them rhyme. I think that's the way to go, but it has to be catchy. Mine is for Sarah, and mine is, don't be a stinker. Use your blinker.
Oh, I like that
oh
one
my
a
gosh,
lot.
that's the greatest I've ever heard.
But in Maine,
Paul,
it's-
yours is great.
thank
Don't
you.
be a stinker, use your blinker.
Yes,
Isn't that how it goes?
that's how
in
I
Maine?
say it. Yes,
When you're summering up there?
yes, but you're right. That's how Maine would say it. Danny, that is genius.
Thank you.
But I would like both of yours to be up on the roadways here now, especially the blinker one here in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, yeah. I'll
Because
work on
mine's
that.
not for everybody, really. Although, I mean, other people can be checking out her behind and
Yeah, but
not
I would
keeping
think
safety in mind.
don't be a stinker and use your blinker is good for here because this is where Sarah drives, and it drives her crazy.
Yeah, sure.
Drives me mad. So I do appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Wow, I threw down the battle and you guys excelled.
Look at us go.
Paul, what was yours again?
Keep safety in mind. Don't watch her behind.
I'm sorry, but that was kind of a vote that his sucked.
And what was yours?
Within minutes of the poor guy doing the whole thing, and then you go, yours was great.
Thank you.
What was it?
Yeah.
That's poor guy. I'm sorry.
Did you
for
do one, Danny, or should you go now?
No, I should probably go now because I've been thinking about this one all day. It's I see if you like this ball. It's don't be a stinker. Use your blinker.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got a little more riled up that time.
I feel like you would remember that one.
Yeah.
That one's good.
That one's good.
Well, you guys out there listening, what is yours? You can come up with a clever DOT slogan. Danny's and Paul's were great, but you guys listening, I'm sure you can come up with one too. A clever DOT slogan. Call us right now. Let us know what it is. 800-252-1025 or text in to 9062. So we are asking you guys about your clever DOT slogans because Maine has asked the public for ideas for these new DOT safety slogans. So put down your cell or end up in one.
Oh, I like that. I was just doing that. I was
Yeah.
looking at you scores.
But you're not on the road. So
No,
it's
I'm
all
not
right.
on the road. Well, yeah.
Well, to try to stop distracted driving, but Click It or Ticket is really the one that's most well known.
I'm a big fan of my own, which is don't be a stinker, use your blinker.
Yep.
That's
How about
great one,
this?
yeah.
Screw Sammy Hagar. Drive 55. It's not quite as rhymey.
I would really like to put yours up on the side of the road, and I was trying to think of one because, the turn signal thing is the bane of my existence.
Right.
Use your blinker or you're headed to the clinker.
Yeah.
Or
If there's a
somewhere.
category for, wow, that's terrible, I think you're doing fine.
All right, 800-252-1025. Tell us your clever DOT slogan. Let's hear from Kevin in Everett.
Hey, Kevin.
Morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Hey, I drive a lot, so I see a lot of people still breaking that distracted driving law.
Right.
So I think it should be hang up, look up, and drive.
Hang up, look up, and drive.
I like it.
I like that too.
Yeah, that's
Because
good.
I'm with with Kevin on this. The distracted drivers looking at their phone. I mean, it's against the law, and they're doing it right in front. I feel like I have kind of the right to say something to them. But worse, I hate the pedestrians that cross the street
Yes,
without
for sure.
looking
Oh,
up
yeah.
from their phone.
Yeah.
And then I think I shouldn't be able to kill them. That's outlandish.
But you want to.
I should be able to tap them, like
Yeah?
knock them down.
Okay.
Look up
That
from your
seem-
phone or Danny's going to tap you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
And you'll break a bone.
Oh, yeah.
Hang up your phone or Danny will break your bone.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I don't know. That sounds a little personal. Just because I'm mad at them, go break their bone.
We got a great one already into the text line at 90627. Also kind of the New England style. Don't drive like a Tara, hashtag dumb Sarah. How about that?
Don't drive like a Terra.
Hashtag
Dumb
dumb
Sarah.
Sarah.
Oh, like a terror? And now
Terror.
you may, okay,
Yes.
got it. Yeah, don't, as much as I love hashtag dumb Sarah, it's like one of the favorite things in my whole world.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know about the don't be a terror.
Be a Terra. Hashtag dumb Sarah. Let's hear from Marion Shoreline, your clever DOT slogan.
It's Crazy
Crazy
Mary. Hi,
Mary.
guys.
Hey, Mary, if anybody should have a traffic slogan,
Oh, yeah.
don't let a tree fall on your head.
Yeah, watch out for that
That should
tree.
be Mary. Yeah, watch that tree. What do you got for us, Mary?
Well, first of all, Kansas was freaking awesome. Just a little bit too short.
Oh, good to hear you enjoyed the concert.
Yeah, how did Snoqualmie?
Finally. Okay, so here's mine, and I actually got this from a cop when I sort of ran a stop sign. Not really, but he said you stop, rock, and then you can roll. So you stop, rock, and roll.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
then you can roll.
For some reason, the way I used to stop, which is no stop, like a four-way stop or stop where I can see everything, I'd slow down a lot and then I'd go. And for some reason, that was called a Hollywood stop.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, California stop.
California stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and technically, it's a rolling stop, and that's why it's stop, rock, and roll, because you're not supposed to come to a rolling
Theoretically, I got a moving violation for doing exactly that, but it was a camera thing, and they can't give you a moving violation. They kind of give the ticket to the car.
stop. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it made me very happy.
What is your clever DOT slogan? That's the question we're asking at 800-252-1025. Let's talk to Bill in Lakewood.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Danny.
What's up,
How you
buddy?
doing? Not much, buddy. How you doing?
All good, man.
How you doing?
Good. I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good. Paul?
How you doing, Bill?
Paul, how you doing,
Hey,
Paul?
Bill, how you doing?
All right.
Oh,
We're
man, I'm all right, man. How you doing, man? How you doing?
We're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
up, Bill?
So, man, if you mix weed with gas, the cops are gonna bust your ass.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
Totally.
Then the cops are going to bust your ass. I think Bill is partaking in something this morning himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think so?
How you doing there, Bill?
There's
Tori
one,
says hi.
There's one pretty similar to Bill's on the text line. It says, if you drink that beer, you may take it in the rear. Can they say that? You can't put that on a sign, right?
As in,
Like
ticket
somebody
goes
you might hit
smacking.
somebody with the
Yes,
back of your
yeah.
car,
Oh,
right?
There you go.
You're backing out. If you're backing out of the parking lot,
Right.
you might
you
hit
go.
somebody with the back.
I thought you were talking jailhouse romance.
No, the-
no, that'd
the
be
rear
terrible.
bumper,
Yeah.
no.
I don't know why I'm gross. I
I
apologize.
wouldn't say that. Yeah.
Joe in Lake Stevens.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
Hey, a happy short week, Wausau.
What's up?
All right, Joe, what do you got? I didn't realize you were still on.
Joe, what do you think? What's your clever DOT slogan?
Don't be rear-ender bait. That text can wait.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I like that.
There's a lot of words to put up on a sign, but all right.
I know.
Don't
I
be
like it.
rear ender bait. Your text can wait.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the other thing can wait too.
Yeah. As Danny pointed out, though, a lot of people are now going to get in accidents because they're looking at these signs. They're trying to read these signs.
Right, there's too many
It's just
words.
a lot to read.
Yeah.
Bill in Federal Way, do you have a clever DOT slogan for us?
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, so Dan, you like this one, but mine would be drive distracted, get tased.
Oh, I do. I get your phone's cracking up a little bit. So if you may, I'll do a dramatic reenactment, and that is wait. How's the first part go?
Drive distracted.
All right. Drive distracted, get tased.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I like that
I
one,
love
Bill.
it.
Thank you.
And then you'll have like Danny or a cop standing at the side of the road with their taser, ready to point it at you.
Well, no, you're in a moving car. How fast is the cop?
Vinny in Renton.
Hey, Vinny.
Morning, buddy.
Hey, guys, it's the hugger. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Tori.
Hugs to you, honey.
Hi. Sorry. Hey, hang up your phone or the bones you break will be your own.
Oh, maybe.
Hang up the
I
phone or
like
the
it.
bones you
Yeah.
break are your own.
But here's what's happening. I'm going 75 because I pay attention to nothing. And I'm driving down the street and I say, hey, put down the phone or what? And then I crash and die, Vinny.
89 is Doug Baldwin's number, not the speed limit. No? Be a learning.
It's accurate.
Be a learning. Tell me when you're turning.
It's a
I'm
good
not
effort.
good at this.
How
What
about
does
this
that
one?
mean, even be a learning? To
It would be a learning, like learn
Learn your lesson. Be a
So-
learning. Tell me when you're turning.
Yeah, okay, I don't get it.
How about if you didn't text and drive, Angela Lansbury might still be alive.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little sad.
That's not how she died. It was a jet ski accident, but
right,
still.
and still, I don't know why they had to suck out the poison. Who cares on a
Angela
jet ski?
Lansbury. That's actually a good one, though.
Hey, thanks.
Max and Paulsbo, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
We're very well, thank you.
I'd like to submit Flag Man Ahead.
You would like to submit
Flag
that?
Flag man ahead.
Yeah, the guy with the flags.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't hit Jim the Flagger?
Oh, Jim the
Right,
Flagger.
right. You know what? Here's the one thing about the flagmen. Most of the flagmen that I deal with on these little side streets is they're begging to be hit.
Danny.
That's,
What are you
I
talking
just feel
about?
like they're, they jump out at the last minute. They're like there's some kind of dare going on. You guys, I want to save me a flagman because I like them.
Yeah.
So
They
make
give
your
great
presence
businesses.
known. Make your presence known a little bit before I'm right up on you.
D.O.T. slogans. Your clever one is what? Don and Snoqualmie.
Drive with distraction and with infraction.
Ooh, that's a good
That's
one.
not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, you can put that right on
I
a
like
sign.
that. Yeah, I could read it. Although infraction is a little. Remember, I'm still going 87 miles an hour. I advanced my speed.
Adrian in Tacoma, do you have a clever DOT slogan for us?
I do.
Let's hear it.
It's keep your eyes on the street, not on the tweet.
Oh, that's good, too.
Nice. I like that one.
And that's also quite short, and we could tweet it because it would fit in those parameters.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that.
Stacy in Eatonville texted into 90627. She says, camp in the left, get smacked with my right. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Tori, do you have a clever DOT slogan for us?
Drive well or go to hell.
Nice.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
A little harsh.
I know, I do like it. Short and sweet. Danny, you can
Yeah,
make that one while you're
but
going
I
89.
mean, you can't just go to hell for being a bad driver. Like hell's
you
terrible.
Don't use your blinker, you'll go to hell.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That was a
Okay,
great
Derek, do you have one for us?
Eat and drive, you won't survive. You'll die with a cheeseburger in your hand like a gross slob.
one. If you'd have started that like 8 seconds ago, I think you were on something.
Oh my goodness. All right, thank you guys are so very clever and sharp this morning. Love all of those calls
Hit
and
the gas
texts.
or let me pass.
Oh, I like that
Oh,
too.
that's a great
Okay,
one.
I'm back.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
yep. But it is time to play the game that is sweeping the nation. Who is your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
This is your shot at our Father's Day gift pack, including tickets to Battle at the Boat 116 and tickets to an upcoming Rainiers game. If you want to play and win, call right now, 800-252-1025. KZOK, we are playing Who's Your Daddy for a pair of tickets to Battle at the Boat 116, hosted
Right.
by Danny, and a 4-pack of tickets to an upcoming Rainiers game. This is the perfect Father's Day gift pack. In order to win, you will just have to match the famous TV offspring to their on-screen dad.
Yeah, there you go.
Get it? Who's your daddy?
Right.
your
And
dad?
by the way, there's in no weird way it's the band Offspring. Just like
Not yet. Maybe on Friday, though.
oh, I hate it when I give stuff away.
Our contestant is Jessica in Lakewood.
Hiya, Jessica.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Of course, every morning.
And do you understand the rules of the game?
I do.
Then here we go. Who's your daddy if you are either Kelly or Bud growing up in a suburb of the Windy City? Dad is a simple working class man. Despite his frequent claims to the contrary, deep down he seems to actually like being married with children and would do anything for his family. His days are spent selling women's shoes, a far cry from his glory days scoring 4 touchdowns in a single game to win the city championship for Polk High. Can you tell us who's your daddy?
I knew it by the first clue. Al Bundy.
All
Yes,
right.
that might have been 900 words that you didn't really need. Yes, it is in fact Al Bundy.
Congratulations, Jessica.
Jessica's going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up her tickets to Battle at the Boat 116 and a 4-pack of tickets to an upcoming Rainiers game. We will give you another chance to win tomorrow at 7:20. But coming up next, Rick Jones.
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones in studio giving you a top flight legal advice. All you got to do is call up. This will be your opportunity. 1-800-252-1025. Call right now. That is me, Danny Bonaduce, life coach, but we have special guest life coach, attorney at large. Is that the way you say that?
You calling me fat?
No. Isn't that a thing that attorneys are? I'm an attorney. I'll shut up now. 1-800-252-1025 if you have a question about divorce, custody, who's going to get the house. 1-800-252-1025. Or you can text them in if you can do it to 90627. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
A little pissed off at you.
I figured, man, every time I open my mouth.
I believe the correct term is attorney at, hey, you're looking great, buddy.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit on a business card. All right, let's just jump to the phones. And I believe we have Bob in Bremerton. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
What do you got, buddy?
I was curious. I've been a stay-at-home dad for like the last 2 years, and my wife filed for divorce recently, and I don't know if I have a shot at being able to have majority custody of my daughter, or is it like Washington favors the mom, or how does this work?
You know, the key really is who between the two of you has already been in the role of primary parenting function providing, and the pivotal period is actually the last 2 years. The last 6 months being more important than before that, but the last 2 years is extremely important. The real key is this, though. Don't go in with what I'm hearing feels like a little bit of a defeatist attitude. Get somebody on your side that can put the story together and tell it in a compelling and truthful way so that it has credibility. It sounds like he's got a really good case.
You know, not that you need me to tell you this, but I've hired lawyers in my day, and never have they said you have a defeatist status. Step up, tell your story well. I thought that was great. So from what I'm getting there, Bob, there's a good chance of this, but you need an attorney to tell your story.
And that attorney that we've got in studio today is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones. You can find him at 1-800-DIVORCE. You can find him in studio right now taking your calls, 800-252-1025. Call right now to talk to Rick Jones. Maggie in Belfair, you are the next caller.
Hey, Mag.
Hello.
How you doing? You got a question for Rick Jones?
Yeah, I do. I've got my son is raising he's raising 3 out of 5 children from this one woman. They were never married. She basically abandoned the kids in the end of 2014. Since that time, she has began receiving disability through Social Security. I have no idea if she's receiving money for the kids too that she doesn't have. My son has them.
Right.
And he's receiving no child support at all from her.
Is that your question? Can he get child support from the mother?
Right. I'm wondering if she's getting some kind of support because she's getting Social Security. I'm wondering if she's getting something for the children also.
All right.
Sure. Well, I don't know whether she's getting anything, so I can't answer that question. But I can speak to the obligation that the two parents have vis-a-vis each other. Is your son paying child support for the 2 that are not with him?
No, one was adopted by the foster parents, and the other one is living with the foster grandparents with a.
Oh, so she has
agreement.
none of the children then?
No, she has none of the children. He's got 3 of them.
Well, let's do this. You're thinking defensively. Think offensively, which is why doesn't your son go to the state or file a paternity action and initiate proceedings to get child support coming his way?
I don't know. That's the question because she doesn't work, and I know she's getting Social Security.
Okay, so let's do this. Take that back to your son and tell him to go on offense and quit playing defense.
Right. Wow. You're on fire today, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love this advice.
I should offend you more often because you're going crazy.
Well, and I mean, Maggie's question is, should her son be getting child support? And the answer seems to be yes.
Yeah.
But I got to say, from what I heard real quickly, that seems to be a bit of a mess, that whole situation.
Absolutely.
One was adopted by the foster parents, another was by somebody else, and he's got the other 3. That is a troubled situation, but that's why you call Rick Jones and you go and you take the bull by the horns, if you will, and try and rectify some of that because that's not good for anybody.
Nope. If you've got a question for Rick Jones, he's taking your calls right now. Call in 800-252-1025 if you've got a question about divorce, child custody, anything. Rick Jones is here, but call right now. Nick in Kent is next.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's all good. What do you got for us?
All right, so this is kind of crazy. I got married when I was 19 years old, and just recently found out that she wasn't the one. What a surprise! And so, like, my side hobby is I build cars, man, and I have 5 or 6 like registered, running, titled vehicles, and we didn't sign a prenup because we're so madly in love. And she wants to get these cars from me in the divorce because these cars are worth a good amount of money. I can sell them on Craigslist for a lot. And I want to know, is there something I can do to keep her from getting her hands on them? Like, could I maybe, give them to my friends and let them put their names in the title so she can't touch them? Or what do I do, guys?
Well, that's the first thing I would think to do, which means it's probably illegal. what can you do?
How do you hide assets?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the entire role of the court and our legal system is to find the truth.
Right.
No doubt there's shady dealings that go on out there in the world that we end up hearing about. But for the most part, people are really pretty stand up and truthful. And ultimately, there's paper trails created on this. So, for example, the example that you just gave me, no, I don't see that flying because somebody could look back and say, all right, we're going through a divorce now, but 4 months ago, he decided to pass this off to his brother for no compensation. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't pass the smell test. Now, you'd mentioned you'd gotten married when you were 19. How old are you now? How long you been married?
24.
Okay.
5 years.
When did you get those cars, Nick?
Man, over the years.
Before 19?
1 year, one there. I've gotten 4 of the 6 since we've been married.
Okay. And when you got them, did you pay significant money for them, or was it more of a fixer-upper and the value is in your sweat equity?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
I was actually going to ask you
pay
about
more
that.
than $1,000.
If they're worth $100, right, the cars, and so they're going to get $50 each when they sell them in the divorce thing, but doesn't he get another $10 because he built them from the ground up? Doesn't he get more than she does because he put in the sweat equity?
No.
Oh, Nick!
Because she was there supporting him while he put that work in.
Think about this. I mean, you're putting in sweat equity right now, right?
Right, absolutely.
And the fruits of that, though, come in the form of a paycheck.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
All right.
Community.
By the way, if this all goes bad on you and you got an old Corvette, call back. I want one.
Well, maybe, Nick, if those first 2 cars were before the marriage, you can hang on to those. And
Maybe.
next time, don't get married at 19 without a prenup.
Yeah.
Still taking your calls. Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones in studio. You can reach him by calling 800-252-1025 now. Free legal advice. Brad in Federal Way. Good morning.
Hey, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Actually, the question I have is, it's kind of an ongoing CPS case that occurred quite a while back. They took her from her mom, but recently I've been established as a parent, and they put her on medication for DDHC without asking my permission or anything like that. And it's been a crazy case, but I just kind of know how would I go about getting their attention or filing motions or something like that.
So you are the biological father?
Yes, I am.
And the child is in the state's possession in foster care or with somebody else?
Yeah, it's foster care. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, foster care put your kid on drugs?
Yes, without telling me, without asking my permission.
Wow.
And I've been seeing her regularly. The visits they let me have, and it's they asked me to do some things. I've done all the things they wanted me to do. And they keep throwing things at me, and then they did that, now this. And actually, the caseworker apologized on the phone to me on a recording, which the message, I still have it.
Smart.
Saying, well, I think I messed up by doing without telling you. She told me, would you like to talk to the doctor after the fact? They already put her on it.
Yeah.
All right.
I first of all, I apologize. This falls a little bit outside of what I know, so I'm reluctant to even throw out the opinion, but. As long as there's an open dependency action going on so that you still have the avenue and a case number to try and get in here, the real key for you, I assume your ultimate goal is to have custody?
Right, exactly.
Okay. So the real key to you, it sounds like this is an opportunity for you to make a whole lot of waves and upset some people in the system. You may want to look at not so much the battle, but the war, especially if you're making inroads. Perhaps you want to stay cool on this one and ultimately hope to prevail where you get to be the decision maker anyway.
Right. So how would I go about filing motions or
it's your kid, man. Call a lawyer. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but, I've been in and out of working in that system a couple of times, and you're just, the whole thing. I don't like old adages unless I wrote them, but the fact is, don't be the jackass that isn't and that is representing himself. It's just a big mistake. You don't even know how to do it. You want to know how to file those motions. That should tell you, hey, I got to get off this phone call and make another one to an attorney.
Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones, 1-800-DIVORCE. He's the one to call, and he is in studio right now taking your questions free. All these questions about divorce, child custody, etc. John in Tacoma is next.
Hey, John.
Hey, good morning, Danny.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well.
What do you got?
I moved cross country from New York. I'm here in Tacoma. I have two teenage daughters back in New York. My ex-wife has custody, and I'm paying child support. And I have one daughter going off to college in August. I want to know what the boundaries are for me to continue paying child support on both daughters, or can I split the cost and put half of that in escrow for my older daughter as she's not home?
I'm not able to specifically answer this because you have already an order of child support out of New York. So, in other words, you have what's called law of the case. Whatever that tells you to do is what you have to do. But let me try and answer the question as if this was going on here in Washington for the benefit of everybody else, which is ordinarily the monthly child support is somewhat of a gospel. That needs to be paid. It doesn't matter how you know that money gets spent, if it's inefficient, et cetera. Now, if what you've got is a situation, though, where one of the children is outside of the house and perhaps requiring no support whatsoever or being supported by somebody else, then you can seek a modification to the child support order, arguing that this person is no longer dependent. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to sit on this information and do anything because you're not able to change the child support retroactively.
Right.
So get on it if that's the argument that you've got. Get on it now and you might have some relief. Unfortunately, you need to go through New York to do this.
All right, good luck to you, John.
Good luck, John.
Next caller on with Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones 1-800-DIVORCE is Ralph in Snohomish.
Hey, Ralph.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. You got a question for Rick Jones?
Yes, I do. I've been separated from my wife since September of 2014. We've been married now. It's been 28 years. She lives in Connecticut with someone else. And my question is, am I required to continue paying health care for her? She's on my health care here at my job, and it's costing me $500 a month, and I'm trying to get her off of there. And I'm not certain if
that's a pretty spectacular question, and I'm assuming Rick Jones has some angle on it.
Well, right now there's nothing legally requiring you to keep that. Now, oftentimes, though, in a divorce, one of the very first things that comes up is mutual restraints, like restraining orders, differently than we normally think of it.
Right.
But a restraint that says nobody can change the entitlements of insurance, just some pretty basic life issues. That's not in place right now, so there really is nothing stopping him. Wow. The question you've got to ask yourself, though, is if I do that, what's her next move? So you're basically moving the pawn on a chessboard, and you're making the first move. What's her response going to be? The fact that you haven't initiated a divorce and we're, 4 years into your separation means maybe you're not wanting to?
Well, I want to, but it's incredibly expensive. I just can't afford it. I've heard some quotes of anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000, and that's just not in the cards.
Well, I will tell you this, though, man. I've been divorced a whole bunch of times. And the second it goes bad enough to get a divorce, I've never met anybody not fully motivated to do whatever it took. So I like Rick Jones's question to you that no matter what you're saying to us, 4 years, and she's living with another dude. I think you should be more motivated than this, and I think the fact that you're not is telling. So anyway, when you want to get on any of those things, you do need to call a lawyer. That's me, my message all day long. Thanks for the call, Ralph.
And your question was answered, which is yes, he can drop his wife from his health insurance.
Right.
At the end of it all. Diana in Lake Stevens is the next caller on with Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones 1-800-DIVORCE.
Hey, Diana.
Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Hi, Diana.
My question is this. I'm currently in a very contentious marriage. It's looking like it's going to go to divorce, but I'm currently filed for a Social Security disability, so I don't have any income of my own. And my husband is the original Ebenezer Scrooge. He won't even give me the money to go to the doctor so I can get my medications refilled.
Oh, that's bad.
What kind of action do I have?
Well, first of all, going through a divorce is not a way out when the two of you don't have monies to begin with together. Right. It certainly is stretching the two of you or a family apart so that you've got additional expenses. So I don't have an easy answer for you on that. But what I can say is by initiating a divorce, you now have Big Brother, the state of Washington that is overseeing it, and you've got access to the court systems. So just like I was talking about with this last caller that doesn't have a restraining order in place, you can go to the court and get some sort of a restraining order. You can go to the court that says, where you say, I have no income coming in, so I'm looking for spousal maintenance on a temporary basis. So things like that. The real key, though, is not stepping into court and not taking advantage of the state oversight is really stopping you from moving forward.
So the key here is move forward.
Move forward.
Move forward on this one. Thank you very much for the call, Diana.
Rick, we have a text in for you at 90627.
Good.
Somebody wondering about how they put an end to child support. This is actually a mother receiving child support, and her and the father get along really well, and he's a great supportive dad. They'd like to take the courts and the state out of it and just handle child support between the two of them on their own. How do you put an end to a child support order when you're the recipient?
Sure. Well, they can give it a try. Depending on the factual circumstance, what would happen is one of the two of them would pay somebody to create a new support order. So you modify the support order, and then you try to enter it with the court on an agreed basis. The key, though, and a good attorney will try and figure out a way to justify, give some facts that support the reason to take this to zero, because the state, when they look at this, they're still going to act and look at this a little bit as a protector of the child. So they're going to want to make sure that this deal that dad and mom cut doesn't result in any sort of negative to the child.
Yeah. And by the way, can I just point out, my old boss used to say that I liked it. That situation has hair all over it. I don't like it. Here's what's going to happen. Y'all think you're great right now. Wait till he starts dating. Wait till you start dating someone he hates.
Right.
Wait till somebody's dating somebody that doesn't like your kids that much, and all of a sudden that's out the window. Go to your lawyer or leave your order in place, and don't fool with it, and just be nice to each other. And I'm telling you, I hate to be the arbiter of doom, but that's going to go south on you fairly soon with some lady in a short dress. That's what does it for me.
One more call. It is Michael in Marysville calling in to talk with Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones 1-800-DIVORCE.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
We're doing well. You got something for Rick Jones?
Yeah, Rick. I have two kids that I haven't seen since 2004. Me and their mom split up. We had some chemical issues. I've since cleaned up my life, over the last 10 years. Her parents got custody when she got arrested for selling meth to a cop. Now, they keep fighting me about not seeing the kids. Do I have any rights to see these kids?
When you say they keep fighting you about not seeing the kids, what do you mean by that?
Well, like I've tried to do it, civilly, just like, emails, whatnot. I'd like to get to know these kids, they're 14, 16.
So they're not letting you have any access?
No, not at all.
Oh, so you've been blocked since, I think you said 2004. They blocked
14
you
years
from seeing these children?
Yeah.
How old are the kids now?
14 and 16.
Okay. Well, did you actually get divorced from this person? Is there or was there a parenting plan? Okay.
We were never married. She did the old civil DV order.
Yeah. So you've never sought a parenting plan?
No, I have not.
Did this happen in Washington?
Their last names too. Yeah, and they changed their last name somehow too.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Well, I think the key, you've definitely been on the outside looking in, but I really appreciate your call because you're now saying, I get it, it's been a while, how do I get back in? So there usually are some open doors for you. It's going to be a bit of an obstacle course. You're also, though, seeing some light at the end of the tunnel with the ages of the kids.
Right.
Because
That's
once they turn 18, there is no parenting plan. There is no rules in place in that sense. But what you may want to do, and I would recommend talking to an attorney first so they can dive in a little bit more on your facts. But what you may be able to do is to file a parenting plan action, trying to create a parenting plan. Fully expect, though, to be able to go through some things like drug and alcohol testing and things like that. So feel free to bear yourself, I guess.
But remember, when you are forced to take a drug test, and I've been there, buddy, it may be a little bit humiliating, but when you pass, that they all have to shut up now. When you pass a random drug test, you're a different guy than you were when you were dirty. So, yeah, it's humiliating and it's embarrassing and that guy's watching you and all that stuff. But when you pass that test, you're exactly the man you said you were, and they can't prove otherwise, and I like that.
All right, thank you all for your calls and texts. If you did not get through and you'd like to get a hold of Rick Jones, you can. Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, online, goldbergjones.com. Thank you so much, Rick Jones.
Yeah, quick pointer that Rick Jones sponsors this segment every day. not just when he's here. This is all brought to you by Rick Jones. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for that, man. You were on fire today.
Oh, thanks, man.
It is a couple of minutes after 8, and I would just like to remind you that you should get the iHeartRadio app. It's all your favorite music, all your favorite radio stations, and all for free. Listen to it on your smart speakers. Just say, hey, Alexa, play KZOK on iHeartRadio. Or you can go this direction. Okay, Google, play KZOK on iHeartRadio. It's the iHeartRadio app.
We were talking about this man in France who scaled a building to save a child who was dangling outside the 4th-story window of this apartment building. And they're calling him Spider-Man because he just, like a spider, climbed up the side of the building like it was no big thing. They called him Spider-Man, and we were thinking, pretty sure that name's taken.
Yeah. That's TM'd all over the place.
Yeah. And I get it because he did look like Spider-Man, and it was a pretty amazing, heroic feat. But it wasn't.
That's it. He's got heroic feet.
Heroic foot, man. Just doesn't quite have a ring to it.
Heroic feet.
Well, a lot of times these nicknames happen, whether it's a celebrity couple or it's a hero or a criminal.
Right.
They get these nicknames. But this one was kind of fun because it was an act of heroism.
Right.
So maybe we do call him Hero Feet. Wait, what did you say?
I don't know. I don't listen to the show. Heroic feet.
Heroic feet.
I don't know if that's that well. I would be. Can I be a superhero?
Yes.
Yeah. I would be Fire Crotch McGee. I think everybody would know here he comes to save the day.
When you have your act of heroism, because you dream of this, delivering a baby on the side of the road, they're going to say, oh, great, that was Fire Crotch Bonaduce. Wait, what was it?
Fire Crotch McGee. Because I had to keep my secret identity, Sarah. Don't wreck it.
So
have you ever seen Danny Bonaduce and Fire Crotch McGee in the same room at the same time? I don't think
maybe,
so.
Maybe not. You don't know.
So you're a hero, and your name is splashed all over the headlines.
Yeah.
You were delivering a baby on the side of the road while taking it out of a burning building.
No, if I'm going to be delivering babies, it's this. Danny, he delivers in 30 minutes or less, or your next baby's free. I like this game.
That is a weird nickname,
It's
Danny.
going to fit on my cape. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah. And which you do have, which is odd.
Several.
All right, Paul, you are going to do an act of heroism, something very notable, and your nickname is going to be what, Fire Crotch McGee?
Well, no, not exactly. My act of heroism, obviously as a farmer, is that, I raise pigs and make these delicious pork products. So I'm going to be Paul the Butcher, bringer of bacon.
All right. I got bacon with me right now.
Exactly.
So you can't live without bacon.
Bringer of bacon, yeah.
Paul the Butcher, bringer of bacon.
Yeah, hey, did you invite Paul the Butcher, bringer of bacon to the party? Of course, he brings bacon.
He's at Fire Crotch McGee's house right now.
And
how is there a bigger superhero than guy who brings bacon?
Yeah, your act of heroism
Bringing
is that
bacon,
you bring
yeah.
bacon.
To bring bacon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, is anybody against that? I don't think
Nope,
so.
not
Nobody
me.
in the world.
No, you gave me an awful lot of pork products in my day. I'm pleased.
All right, you guys listening, you do an act of heroism. You do something really notable. You're going to get a nickname by the press. What is that nickname going to be? Call us now, 800-252-1025, or text your answer to 90627 now.
So a guy in France sees a child dangling precariously. Doom is really close. So he climbs the building, and they call him Spider-Man. And we think, hey, that name's taken.
Yeah.
You could have done a better job. What is your superhero name in any way you want it to be for an act of heroism? Here's the phone number, 1-800-252-1025, or text 90627.
Yeah, you think about it. You do an act of heroism. Think about it like in the olden days where newspapers were everywhere, and there's the headline. And it's Spider-Man saves the baby. Well, people would think it's the superhero Spider-Man.
Yeah,
no, but it was a human. So you need to come up with a nickname for yourself because you are human. You do something super notable. What are they going to call you?
Okay, I'm delivering a baby on the freeway, on the side of the freeway. Ready?
Yeah.
Cut the cord in the back of a Ford. No?
That's
It's like
your
a slogan.
Back to you in the studio.
That's your nickname.
Yes.
Mr. Cut the Cord.
Oh, that's
There you
what I
go.
love
in the
doing.
back
Yeah.
of a Ford, yeah.
Brent in Port Townsend, you do something heroic. What is your nickname going to be?
Hey, good morning, my people.
Good morning.
Morning.
So it's my big brother. He's always getting into fights, and when it goes down, he always loses his shirt. So I call him the T-Bone, the bare-chested brawler.
T-Bone, the bear-chested brawler. Now, how old is he?
He's like 60, bro. Why is he still fighting?
That's what's going to be my question. I haven't been in a fight outside the ring since at least my 30s. Who's still fighting?
That's amazing.
Oh, man, I got to buy your brother some shirts.
As if T-Bone wasn't already a great enough
Right?
nickname.
Right.
I already have a nickname for all my acts of heroism.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag Dumb Sarah.
Hashtag Dumb Sarah.
Yeah. And so there's the headline splashed across. Oh, the hashtag Dumb Sarah saves the day.
Yeah.
Rescues
Or
Danny
ruins
from
the
a
day.
burning building.
Yeah, grabs the kid, but lets him slip out of her hands.
And says, ha ha, on the way down.
We have a text into 90627 from Buford in Enumclaw. Buford would like his name, if he commits an act of heroism, to be Buford the Badass.
Oh, I like that.
I like it, certainly. And I like just that you're Buford. I would recognize that as a superhero name.
Yeah.
All right, we're asking if you do an act of heroism, what would your nickname be? Call us and let us know at 800-252-1025. How about Rob in Louisville?
Hey, Rob.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, after rescuing some strippers in distress, they would call me Throbbing Rob.
They may do that now. Would be that when you come in the door, your favorite chandeliers or whatever it's called. They may go, "Oh, look, Becky, it's Throbbing Rob."
I always wondered if that was somebody's job. You know, when the newspapers were prevalent and you had to come up with that headline. You know, was that one person's job to come
Yes.
up with all those clever
Yeah,
headlines?
they did a big story on it. And I don't know if it was all headlines of all kinds, but it was the New York Times has, I think it's New York, it could be Daily News or whatever.
The New York Post and the Daily News are famous.
They're
for
known for it. Well, it's a guy, and he's got to sit there and rack his brains to come up with those things. And there's some really famous examples. I wish I could think of them because they're kind of convoluted,
It's still
really.
to this day, even though, you know, they still sell newspapers, it's still online, same thing. It's a front page and a back page. The back page has to be the sports headline. So it'll be just like what we're talking about, but the nickname is something negative. So if you blew the baseball game, it would be
You'd probably get a raise, really. That's the way I do it.
Bonaduce, like you blew the game.
Oh, yeah. But not bomb like he hit a bomb, but he
Okay,
blew the
let's
game.
reverse it.
Floppaducci.
Floppaduce.
Danny Floppaducci.
I like that
I
one.
like that one. Steven. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But it would be if you hit the game winner, then it would be Danny
Bonaduce.
Bonaduce, yeah. Big
Yeah.
Papa Ducci.
I like that I'm doing all this stuff without leaving my car.
You're killing it, Danny.
So you got a text over there?
Yeah, Stephen Renton's killing it too. He texted us at 90627. He says, I have, in fact, run into a burning house to save kids, and now they call me Ice because I'm just cool under pressure.
Because you have ice in your veins.
Ice.
That's a
He
neat
doesn't
nickname.
mention that he started that fire.
Right?
So he can look like a hero.
It is better when you get these nicknames organically. A lot of athletes wind up getting them. So like I said, hitting bombs or like Big Poppy, you get the nickname for a good reason. Let's hear from Chino in Puyallup and see what his nickname is.
Hey, Chino.
Hey, how you doing, Danny and Sarah and everybody in the studio? Anyway, my nickname would be Flame. My cousin and I were long-haul truck drivers back in the hippy-dippy days, about 1976. And we came up on a car that was on fire. It had 2 women and 3 children in the back, and we jumped out of our rig and put out the fire with our fire extinguisher. And finally, the firemen pushed the car off to the side, got all the people out of the car, and finally the fire department showed up, and they just waved us off. Get the hell out of here, you hippies!
After you saved everybody?
Yeah, after I saved everybody. Yeah, my cousin and I, Jim.
Wow.
Chino the Flame.
Chino the Flame.
Yeah.
There's a good sound to it.
I'm thinking, so Tori does an act of heroism. She rescues pets. And so her
From her
nickname
own freezer.
is Tori the Terrible.
The terrible.
I like it, Tori the Terrible. At first I was going to take exception to it, and then no, that's a cool name.
Because she rescues the pets and puts them in her freezer.
But it's also, I was, Danny is such a terror. I wasn't really a terrorist when I was 6. It could be a compliment.
Well, you
Tori
did
the Terrible.
rescue a one-eyed crazy cat.
I did.
So maybe
Yeah,
we
where
should...
is it now?
She's still at home.
Yeah, for now. She's still
She's
alive.
fat and happy.
You're feeding her.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like an eater later,
See, she's finally being honest.
What is it? Loser, loser, cat abuser?
Cat abuser, yeah.
All right, Tori, you do an act of heroism. What do you think your nickname would be?
I want to say puppies from Fire because I want to be the puppy snuffer.
The puppy snuffer?
Yeah, see, Tori, sweetheart, as much as I love you, I think the world of you. But see, what a puppy snuffer would do by definition would be kill puppies.
Oh, no.
Preferably with your hand over their mouth and nose, but any death would do.
That.
Yeah,
I'm
puppy
sorry.
snuffer.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Films.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think it's an act of terrorism that I come in here every day and put up with you people.
What do you mean, you people?
I really do. So I think people should call me Producer Man, Savior of the Radio. I like that.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. Never mind.
So, Tori, the puppy snuffer.
Yeah.
Sarah, the snuffer. Derek, what is your nickname going to be?
My specialty will be saving people by using the Heimlich maneuver, but I'm going to grow a man bun before I start doing it so I can be the Heimlich hipster. I'll probably just hang out at Starbucks a lot.
You know what? I like it, though, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a weird superhero name to have Heimlich in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you might
like
get a
the
chance to
nickname.
do that someday.
All right.
One of our listeners texted in to 90627. He says, I work all day with pretentious tantrum-throwing doctors that somehow through superhuman force, I am able to not strangle them. So now everyone calls me Dr. Not Strangler. Which is a great superhero name.
Dr. Not
Dr.
Strangler?
Not Strangler.
I do like it. Thank you all for your calls and your texts, but don't go anywhere because we will be right back with the news. One student was injured and another student is now in custody after a stabbing yesterday at a school in Fife. Officers and medics responded to Columbia Junior High School on 54th Avenue East, 11:30 in the morning. They found a male student on the scene with stab wounds. That student was taken to the hospital for treatment, and another male student was taken into custody, booked into the Tacoma Juvenile Detention Center, first-degree assault. Now, they did place that school on lockdown, but it was lifted shortly after, and they're still trying to figure out exactly what caused the beef between these two kids.
Girl or sports? That's kind of what it is. Or money.
Yeah.
Girls, sports, or money. What's it called? Columbia?
Columbia.
Imagine the problems they have at the real life Columbia High in Columbia.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's nothing. Pablo Escobar going out there in the 11th grade, that can't be good.
The biggest cruise ship ever to be home ported on the West Coast has now docked in downtown Seattle. The Norwegian Bliss is more than 20 stories high.
Jeez.
It will be christened today, just days before it kicks off the season of cruises to Alaska.
Who's christening it?
Your mom?
Is that right?
Your
No,
mom?
she's
I don't think your
93.
mom's in
She's not
town,
doing
no.
it. So does somebody still hit it with a bottle?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. The captain has to do it, right?
No.
No?
Captain's the last guy to do it.
Oh. So there's other...
A
they do-
dignitary usually does it. The Queen's done a whole mess of them.
Okay.
Now, they said this is the Norwegian Cruise Line's newest and largest ship. It has a capacity of 4,000 passengers. And the ship's got features like a race course for electric go-karts, laser tag, a water slide with a tube that swishes you along the side of the ship, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville restaurant, and it was built to run out of Seattle. There is also an onboard Starbucks.
Okay, that's the first thing I cared about so far. I mean, I'm not their target audience in what you like the electric race cars.
Yeah, the
on-
go-karts?
on a
Sounds
boat.
awesome.
Why? They're all over the place. Why use
And
up
then
that kind of floor space, that
the-
kind of real estate on your boat?
The water slide that goes off the side of the boat and back on, that sounds cool.
I like that in the fact that they did it, but really, ships, I want them to go from one place to another. I don't need go-karts. The last thing I did on a cruise ship that I thought was pretty fun was the stay still surfing.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty impressive. And you can do it surprisingly, like right away. Like I'm not necessarily
really?
coordinated at that. And they explain to you how to do it. They hold your hand for a minute and they let you go and you're doing it.
Cool.
Now, they say if you were to stand this ship up, it would be twice as tall as a Space Needle. It carries nearly 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And a seasoned 67-year-old backpacker hiking the Pacific Crest Trail was reported missing, but authorities are now saying he is safe. Stephen McGuire here in Washington didn't pick up his scheduled food supply. They thought he likely ran out of food and then what?
And where
that's
is this?
Terrible. The Pacific Crest Trail.
Is that the one around Mount Rainier?
No, it's the one that travels all the way from Canada down to Mexico.
Oh,
all
right,
along
right,
the
right,
coast.
right. And somebody stashes food for you and you pick it up along your way?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Because there's no way you could pack that much food on your person. You would either have to hire somebody to be like a Sherpa, or you have scheduled stops to pick it up.
You're getting possibility number 3. Take all the other campers' stuff.
Yeah.
They got to nap at some point.
A lot of people don't. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that camp along the trail, but a lot of people have to take, nights off the trail in hotels and stuff because it's such a long trip.
Yep.
that
He's
you-
been hiking since March.
Yeah.
It's a long hike. My mother-in-law
over 2 months.
did the, what is it? It's in Spain. Does anybody happen to know the name of it?
No.
It's like hundreds of miles, and it's a big trek that people do. You fly to go and do this. A lot of people do this. And she did exactly that. They mapped it out to 20 miles a day or whatever that they'd hike. And then she went from one town to another and had her luggage sent to the next town.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Well, and especially in this case, because in often cases you will hit snow.
Right.
You go through the Sierras. If you get a winter storm, which they have, then that can be kind of ruin your trip. But this guy has been found safe and sound. They said he had been delayed by the bad weather, was hungry, tired, but was in good condition. Yesterday, a crazy story surfaced about a Russian journalist who was shot and killed in Kiev, Ukraine. The Ukrainian police said Arkady Babchenko's wife found him bleeding in their apartment, called an ambulance, but he died on the way. This is a journalist who has been very outspoken, and we've seen in the past that this happens. Now,
Very outspoken what?
against the government.
Against
being
Putin?
very outspoken about anything.
Yeah.
But they said he died of multiple gunshot wounds to his back. Well, that journalist, Arkady Babchenko, reportedly shot dead in Kiev, showed up for a press conference today.
Huh?
He's not dead. They lied.
Who lied?
The Kiev and National Police. Now,
Was he shot?
No. This was all faked.
Somebody just made it up. Fake news.
Fake news.
Hashtag fake news.
According to Babchenko, special apologies to my wife. I'm sorry, but there were no options here. This operation took 2 months to prepare. I was told about it a month ago. The person trying to kill me has been captured. So they knew someone was actually trying to kill him. So they set it up to make it look like he had been killed.
Wouldn't the guy that's supposed to have shot him know, hey, I didn't shoot him?
Yeah, you'd think so. yeah.
Something's fishy here.
Maybe the guy's trying to hire somebody and they do the whole fake hitman thing. Like
Yeah,
you've told us
well,
about.
they actually do that. They cover you in blood and take pictures and stuff.
This has been confirmed by the Ukrainian Secret Service. They
Yeah,
said
but they
we-
also confirmed this guy was dead with multiple gunshot wounds to his back. So
We confirmed that we faked his death in an attempt to catch those who were trying to kill him. It's like a spy movie.
So, who was trying to kill him?
A 41-year-old man. I do not know. I mean, this just broke about an hour ago.
Super weird.
I had it set to report to you guys that this guy was killed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then right before the news started, I see he just showed up literally moments ago at a press conference.
To which we'd have said, live Russians, hashtag dumb Sarah.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened at all.
I don't like the Russians meddling in our fake news. Like, leave that to us. That's our thing.
This is a Russian journalist.
I thought that was their thing, and we kept getting tricked.
Oh, maybe.
2 melons grown in a prized region of Japan have sold for a record-breaking price at a wholesale fruit auction. These melons were grown in Yubari, Hokkaido.
How big are they? Are they like gigantic melons?
I think they're like cantaloupe
They're really
size.
big, luscious melons.
Okay.
Are they?
They are. They sold for just shy of $30,000
That's a lot. For both of them or for each?
a pair of melons.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
The most melons have fetched so far were just shy of 14,000.
You know what's weird about this is that they're degrading as you speak. On the way home,
Yeah,
they're
right.
getting, you have to eat that money pretty fast.
Now, they acknowledge that this is a large sum of money, and this is a vegetable packing company that bought it. Yep. And they said, we wanted to make a record-setting bid. The melons will go on display till the end of the month, and then they will be cut up and distributed as free samples to market customers.
Wow. Well, that's fairly. And what kind of melon is it?
They have a very specific name in Japan. It does look a little like a honeydew because it's green on the outside,
right. One of
but
my
it's
favorite
not a
melons.
honeydew.
All right. Well,
It's a honey don't.
Weird.
Very.
So outside of this like super rare melon, is it hard to just get regular melons in
No.
Japan?
No.
So these
this-
people are just bizarre.
Yes, this happens periodically with the grapes, too.
No, it's hard to get melons in Hawaii. That's why they're an extra $1, not $30,000.
Right. But yeah.
I know it does sound crazy, but they it's just something that they take pride in. So
Yeah.
those globe, I think it's those big globe grapes. Same thing. They'll sell for
I remember that. Yeah.
dozens and dozens of dollars. Haven't the faintest idea if they taste any different. In Florida, a man is in trouble with the law for shooting down a drone.
Oh, in most cases, I think he should be fine.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on who owns it, I suppose.
No, or where it was. If it's looking in my window, I don't care who owns it. I get the, and I know that there's the urge to see me naked, but
Yeah.
you don't need a drone for it. And I think we should be able to shoot them down. I think they should be treated the same way as we treat the guys that have the lasers that shine them into pilots' eyeballs.
You shoot those guys down?
No, shoot the laser.
I've seen drones a handful of times. I told you guys in the nice weather, if I'm sitting out on my balcony, a few times I've seen a drone and I give it a special finger salute. And then it occurred to me, maybe it's not a person, maybe it's the authorities, and I just flipped off the authority. What would the authorities be doing looking at my roof? I think it's a perv.
I think it's a perv.
In this case, the man was super irritated that there was a drone near his home, so he got his 9mm handgun and fired 7 shots.
Not that easy of a shot with a handgun.
No, especially that drone's moving around. That's going to be a hard target.
Well, turns out this was a properly licensed Federal Aviation Administration drone. This was something that was being used properly by somebody working for the FAA, and he was not supposed to shoot it down.
And is he in trouble now?
They are looking into the incident. They said that you can't fire random bullets at
I was going to say,
drones.
you should have to make it a special color so I don't shoot it. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, you're not supposed to shoot stuff just because it's in the air and you don't like it.
Make it bright orange,
Yeah.
but then I'm going to see it right away when it's flying up to my window.
Well, and they're lining up to fly up to your window.
They make special ammunition. They make a 12-gauge shotgun shell that has like a webbing in it, and it's meant for drones, and it like puts this webbing over the drone. and it
Seriously?
brings it down without. I guess you still do damage because it's going to hit the ground, but not the same as
Plus,
putting a bullet through it.
Wow.
you've got to be fairly close to it.
Yeah.
Once the webbing spreads out,
Right.
that's it. That's what it's going to do,
That's
and it weighs a
some
lot.
Scooby-Doo stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Danny, you've talked about going over the 520 bridge before and that it freaks you out when your GPS tells you that there's just water and you're floating over water.
Looks like I should be on a boat. The only time I've ever seen that kind of image was on a boat.
Well, and very scary to think about taking a wrong turn and where it could lead you. If you were on the 520 and took a right, you'd
Right.
be.
And I would
in
do what
water.
it says.
Yep. Well, in Cleveland, one driver made a wrong turn and found himself even further delayed when his car started sinking into wet cement. The man took the wrong turn. Crews were working on pouring concrete at an intersection. He wasn't supposed to go down that street, went around a barrier, sunk into wet cement.
It's Post Alley all over again.
Oh, don't bring that up again. Who am I?
You're you thinking you can't be seen.
Yeah.
I put on horse blinders and think that people
You
can't
know what?
see
You should
me.
just say blinders.
Because Danny drove his little Fiat down Post Alley.
I didn't do it to be an ass. It had a street sign. It looked like a street. I didn't know it was bad until I was killing people.
Yeah, you didn't think the restaurants with tables right
No,
there on the
immediately
road?
that's what I saw when I turned my right was tables with restaurants or vice versa.
The fact that there was a waiter like in front of your car.
all that stuff made me know I was bad.
Excuse me, waiter, there's a Fiat in my soup.
That goes.
You often hear churches or preachers asking for donations.
Sure you do.
And oftentimes when people go to church, that's just what they do. You get that plate tossed around and you put some money in there, right?
Right.
Well, one gospel preacher is asking his followers to help him buy a Falcon 7X private jet.
Well, you need that so you can fly to heaven.
It's an expensive jet. You have a guess on what the price tag is on a Falcon 7X private jet?
$42 million.
Double that.
Wow.
Jeez.
And then subtract
Nice.
4.
Okay. But I get your point.
Still.
Yeah, so $78 million.
That's not going to fit in the collection plate. $78 million. I mean, even in $1 million bills, it's going to fill it up.
This guy's name is Jesse Duplantis. He already has 3 private jets, but that ain't enough. He said he needs another one and is asking on his website called This Week with Jesse to donate because he believes the Lord wants him to have
jets. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
private
how
jet.
big is this guy's church?
Yeah, or is he delusional, or is he going to get this? Like, he's not Joel Osteen.
Well, I know, but you said he already has jets. And Joel Osteen, I may have Googled his net worth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's $50 million. It's not even one jet.
My goodness. This week with
I don't know how
Jesse,
he gets by.
Apparently has enough to
Buy
provide
3
him
other jets.
with jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not make my donation yesterday.
What city is he?
I know he's based in the United States. I just know him from a website. I don't know if he's got a physical church or not.
A lot of that, too, now it's moved past TV and they're doing their sermons online. And
Yep.
they put together a TV production just like we do with Danny TV at KZOK.com. But they, do their TV show online. And then people all around the world are watching it and donating money. Apparently enough
private
for
jets.
jets.
How about some good news in the news?
Love that.
The people at Oreo Cookie have just announced not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 new limited edition flavors.
I'm going to be busy.
Would you like to know what they are?
I would.
Yeah.
Chocolate peanut butter pie,
All right.
Yeah.
good humor strawberry shortcake,
You definitely.
Yeah.
the ice pop thingy, popsicle. What's that called?
Ice cream bar?
Ice cream bar, like ice cream on a stick. Rocky Road, pistachio Oreos, peppermint bark,
Yes.
birthday
Bark?
cake with Mickey Mouse in honor of Mickey's 90th birthday.
And is there a mouse on the cookie?
Yep.
Wow. All right.
So birthday
Yeah.
cake
So-
flavor.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'll eat all of them.
Yeah.
Pistachio intrigues me, and it's probably going to be green.
Yeah.
with green filling. It has to be. It can't be chocolate with
Definitely
pistachio
has to be
filling,
green,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, those will be rolled out, and just like all the other ones, they won't stick around. Limited edition flavors. Congratulations are in order to Stephen Gidd. He is now the winner of Britain's annual cheese rolling contest.
Oh, that's great.
I thought I was going to win it this year.
They throw it like down a mountain, right? And you chase it down.
Technically, it's Gloucestershire's Cooper's Hill.
Yeah.
This is an 8-pound wheel of double Gloucester cheese.
That could kill you.
It is
goes,
a
I think
big
it goes
wheel.
like 75 miles an hour or something like that.
Well, I didn't.
An 8-pound wheel of cheese going 75 could
Yeah.
ruin your day.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've got that gun that they use at the baseball games, to the radar gun, to see how fast
Right.
that wheel is going. But it does go down fast. And he...
Yeah. You were saying?
Now, oftentimes when people roll these cheeses down the hill, they go with it. This guy did a good job. His final tally is 22 wheels that he was able to get down the hill. You roll more than one roll.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So the point is just how many can you get from the top to the bottom without them falling over?
I believe so. I think next year the show is going to go on a field trip to watch this.
Right.
in
Yeah,
person.
for sure.
Yep.
Definitely. I'll set that up right now.
Superhero of radio-ness.
Yes.
What was it?
I don't remember. It was good, though.
It was good. Producer Paul,
Producer man.
savior of radio.
Savior of
There you
radio.
go.
Yeah.
Paul's new nickname. I think that one's really going to stick, Paul.
Me too. With the work you're doing, young man, I
It
think
rings
that's
so
going to
true.
stick.
Hey, thanks. What can we give you, though, little stick?
Gum.
Danny Bonaduce, that one sticks.
There you go.
Well, speaking of things going fast, which we were moments ago, a team of tinkerers
Yeah.
have souped up a Barbie car and replaced its engine with one that will go 72 miles an hour.
That's not safe. You could catch a cheese wheel in it, though.
Yep. Barbie Power Wheels Mustang is what they've modified it to, and it drives at an adult speed. They replaced it with the engine of a Honda dirt bike. So
All right.
something smaller, right? They couldn't put a real car's engine in there.
Yeah.
And this Barbie Dream Wheels now goes 72.
Well, that does not seem safe. Plus, it's going to melt the axles because I used to do that with the big wheels. We'd go around, steal big wheels, and then drive them down Malibu Canyon. And what happened is halfway to Malibu, all your axles would melt and you'd all crash.
You can't have a melted axle, Danny.
You can't.
Visitors at the Newfoundland airport captured some very peculiar video. Well, we've seen a lot of videos out of airports recently, but this is Newfoundland. Things are very strange. Katie Jackson tweeted a video that she captured at the St. John's International Airport. There's a moose loose in the airport.
There's a moose loose?
And she said, oh, the moose must have just arrived on a flight and I'm trying to find my car. Where did I park? There was a moose roaming around the outside of the airport.
Does that happen in Newfoundland?
Not to my knowledge.
Sounds like it would. Doesn't it seem like it would?
It does seem like it would.
Watch out, though, because their eyes, they don't reflect. So.
I've heard that.
Yep. That is going to wrap up the news for now, but we do have a lot of show left. In music news, a story we'll be talking about that drama between Kurt Cobain's kid and her now ex-husband.
Yeah.
It ain't over, friends.
Really?
He is back. And a new face will be joining the Seattle Seahawks. We'll talk about that next in sports. Starting with some music news, we've had a lot of drama surrounding Frances Bean Cobain and her now ex-husband.
Yeah.
It was the big battle over his legendary guitar. Now, he claimed that she gave him Kurt's guitar. She claimed she did not. It was just in the house with their other possessions. But she said, I've had it with you. Take the stupid guitar.
Right.
And we're divorced.
You know,
Well,
that's
now-
a tactic, by the way.
What?
That's a tactic, by the way.
What do
You
you
get the woman you're divorcing so mad at you,
Oh,
they
yeah.
go, fine, just go.
They just give up.
Yeah, I tried to. Apparently, several of the women I have divorced did not fall for that. But it's a good tactic.
Well, now her ex-husband is suing Courtney Love, claiming that Courtney entered into a conspiracy with several other people to break into his home, beat him up, kidnap him, and try to murder him, all to get possession of this legendary guitar.
Anybody else in the world, I say, this is craziness. That is a conspiracy. They're not a chance. But when you got Courtney Love involved, oh, so they're going to kidnap you, murder you, and take your guitar? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the person
Allegedly, I think we have to say.
Sure.
also at the heart of this lawsuit is somebody named Sam Lufty.
Yeah.
The name might sound familiar because he was involved in some Britney Spears drama a couple of years ago. He, along with two other guys, reportedly, he says that this happened to him, that some people tried to break in his house and kill him and murder him. I don't know why. So he is suing a whole slew of people. I don't even know who these people are.
Okay, this is back to the ex-husband guy.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's suing Sam Lufty, John Nazarian, actor Ross Butler, and musician Michael Schenk, claiming they were all involved with this conspiracy.
Yeah.
He says they made it all the way to his house, pounded on the door and said, "Police, open up." LAPD grabbed his stuff and things down there and then said, "Give me the guitar or I'm going to kill you."
Well, this is a terrible plan.
Who has the guitar now?
Yeah.
Did he
He
actually
does.
give him the guitar?
He does.
And they didn't kill him.
And they asked for the guitar. They didn't go for this is some sort of random thing.
Yes.
They actually doesn't seem like they worked it out that well.
No, it doesn't. Especially somebody who has experience. If this guy already kidnapped Britney Spears or whatever he did.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd plan things out a little better.
Stole her actual talent. Wouldn't give it back.
I don't know what the heck the story is here. I don't know if this this will make it through the courts or just get thrown out or what. We will see.
All right.
I'm thinking it's possible there's more than one crazy person involved in that whole situation.
I think that is a fair thing.
Music
Although
festivals.
the kid's not crazy, is she?
No.
No, she's good.
Music festivals can be crazy places. Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of music festivals that go on these days. One that's very popular here on the West Coast is the Bottle Rock Festival.
Yeah.
And they say this one tends to be pretty upscale. There's a lot of food, upscale food, wine, craft beer,
I like
and then music. Well, firefighters were called over the weekend to help a man 1:30 in the morning because he did not want to go in a porta potty. He decided to go in nature, tripped, fell, went down the side of a hill, into a creek and could not get back out.
With his pants down around his ankles?
You know it.
Dude, how embarrassing is that?
He had to call 911.
From the bottom of the hill.
Yep, because he could not get out. And they said he was a good sport about it, but it's a piece of advice from the police department: use the restrooms.
Yeah, as gross as porta potties are, they have like a seat and paper and often some water to wash your hands with. Nature does not offer that.
Yeah, I think he was only going number 1 and tripped.
Well, then he's an idiot.
Yes.
I don't really care that much what happened to him.
Well, some alcohol is likely involved.
That is like the one thing, you have to teach guys most things because we're stupid, but standing up and taking a pee, that is not one of them. We are born with that talent.
Some sad news in entertainment. Blake Painter, a former crab fisherman on The Deadliest Catch, was found dead at his home, according to authorities in Oregon.
Oh, he's a young guy, too.
He is 38 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say he's under 40.
They are awaiting toxicology reports before declaring cause of death. He has been known to partake in illegal drugs in the past.
Yeah.
He was caught a couple months ago, smoking heroin while driving.
Oh, wow.
And
They should put up a sign about that.
Yeah,
Do we have a
they
slogan for that one?
yeah, he had a bit of a rough past, but just
When you're
38
in your
years
car, don't smoke the tar.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
yeah.
should do this for a living because this is clearly not working out for me.
And do you guys recall, I believe it was yesterday, that we talked about a video game that had people up in arms?
Yeah, sure, I remember.
Active Shooter.
Yeah.
This was, setting was a school, and you could either be the school shooter or you could be the SWAT team.
Right.
Which I'm not even sure I'm okay with it if you're the SWAT team, but I'm definitely not okay with it if you're the shooter.
I'm not okay with it if you're the SWAT team. You're still walking around a school. Teenagers are screaming for help. That's the whole point of this game. Now, I know that we are protected by our First Amendment rights, but here's what I would say by the maker and the guy that went out of his way to license that game is that he should be jailed for 6 months, and it's because anybody that stupid is dangerous.
Yeah.
How did you possibly think you were going to market a school shooter game?
It was a local company, too, a company based in Bellevue.
No, they should be arrested.
It is a company based in Bellevue called Valve, and the game was called Active Shooter. One Mercer Island mom got involved, and now it is game over. Stephanie Robinette is the mother of 3, and she said it was clear that this was patently offensive content meant to shock and awe. She got a petition going. She says, I believe this crossed the line, and she reached out to Bellevue-based Valve, launched her petition on change.org, almost 200,000 signatures, and Valve said, we will remove it from our site.
After I served my 6 months in Bonaduce.
Now, it's unclear whether Active Shooter could resurface elsewhere, just getting another company to host it.
Oh, because the person who made it could likely just take it somewhere else.
Yep. But it will not be up yet, and it will not be involved with Bellevue Valve. Roseanne Barr, a lot of people talking about Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
And she sent out a very racist tweet yesterday, and swift action was taken. Her TV show was canceled. It was also removed from Hulu and Viacom. So you won't even be able to see old Roseanne.
It was still on my DVR. Is it wrong that I watched an episode last night after I knew all the controversy? There was one episode that I hadn't watched yet, and I thought, well, I'll still watch it.
I think it's fine.
I think you're all right.
Because I'm pretty sure she was racist when the season started.
And
a lot of
everybody
people still
knew
watched
she
it.
was racist. This
Yeah.
is not news to anybody that Roseanne Barr is racist.
Well, she took to Twitter to attack a Obama advisor named Valerie Jarrett. She then apologized, and then a couple hours went by, and she said it was Ambien.
Yeah, it was ambient texting. She said it like that was a thing we should all recognize.
Oh, yeah.
So during her tweet storm about the cancellation of her show and the racist comment that caused it, Roseanne Barr tweeted, "It was 2 a.m. I was Ambien tweeting." A lot of people then took note of that, and some of the posts, NPR said, if your racism lasts longer than 4 hours, please see a doctor.
Nice, very nice, NPR.
But then the makers of Ambien weighed in. People of all races, religions, and nationalities work at Sanofi, the makers of Ambien, every day to improve the lives of people around the world. While all pharmaceutical treatments have side effects, racism is not a known side effect of any Sanofi medication.
I got to tell you, that is so good and to the point, and exactly what they want to say in the way that they want to say it. Am I a jerk for thinking they hired somebody?
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't think the CEO in charge of VP-ness or whatever is writing that. That's a really good, that's as good as they get.
Why is he in charge of that part of your body?
I don't know exactly, but I don't know. Everybody around here is a VP of something.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA. It's 1-800-DUIOA. The Mariners saw their 4-game winning streak come to an end yesterday thanks to Rougned Odor. 3-run double in the 9th sent the Rangers past the Mariners, working 9-5. They'll turn it around today. Rangers again. First pitch 7:10. We got James Paxton facing Matt Moore. Welcome to town, Brandon Marshall. He is 34 years old, and he has signed a 1-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, they said his size will come in handy in the red zone after losing Jimmy Graham to free agency.
Yeah, probably my favorite player.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham. I love him. Now, when he shows up on the other team, he is dead to me.
Although he's on the Packers now, right? Aren't you? And you're a big fan of a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan of the Packers.
Do you like the Packers?
Yeah, they're like my third favorite team. And I can't even name the second favorite team, so I don't know who any other teams.
Congratulations.
Go Tips.
To Kansas City Chiefs player Laurent Duvernay-Tardif.
Yeah, congratulations, because nobody can say your name.
He graduated from medical school.
Oh,
over
very
the
cool.
weekend.
Did you anybody see the story on TV?
Oh, yes.
Guy
I've
comes
been following
out,
him.
walks across the stage, and he's too tall. Like they have a thing where they tap you with your diploma.
Yeah.
And she can't read. He has to bend all the way over to get tapped. And he's still on a team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and is a medical doctor. How badass is that?
Plus, he gets to play for Kansas. Who doesn't love that?
You know, that's a real role model. Because I wonder why all athletes have to be role models. Shut up. They want to get high and be stupid. So what? You should raise your kids. But this one, I would point a kid at this guy and say, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
He had a special doctor's jacket made up with his football jersey number on the back, number 76, and then his name, Dr. Duvernay-Tardif.
Oh, I dig it.
Yep. So pretty impressive. He has said his entire career, I'm doing this, but I'm going to become a doctor. 8 years of medical school while playing professional football.
Healing his own wounds.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to be.
Pretty
I think I'm
incredible.
going to miss a game or two because I tore my tibiola or whatever I tore, and I'm going to fix it now because I'm a doctor.
Yesterday, the Storm beat the Washington Mystics 81-77. Tomorrow, the Storm face the Las Vegas Aces at 7. In the NBA Finals, they start tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Game 1, Cavs at the Warriors. When that matchup happens, it will be the 4th consecutive season, and people are pretty aware of this showdown at this point. However, Las Vegas has opened Golden State as 1,000 favorites to win the best of 7 series. I don't know gambling. I guess, what is it? A minus 1,000 favorite?
It sounds pretty good, no
Okay.
matter what.
I'm not in.
So they are now the largest finals favorite for the past 16 seasons.
Yeah, they're saying the Warriors are going to win it in 3 games because they're going to sweep the first 3, and then the Cavaliers are going to be too embarrassed, and they'll forfeit game 4.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
I like it.
Put your money all on Warriors in 3.
There you go.
No, don't do that. Don't listen to him.
Well, you do have to be careful when you idly say these types of things.
Yeah, I never do. I'm never careful.
As Cleveland Browns safety Demarius Randall is learning.
Oh, I retweeted that guy.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
All right, you're getting a prize, allegedly. Here's what happened. This guy, Demarius Randall, said, if you retweet my tweet, I will buy you a jersey if the Cavs beat the Golden State Warriors in the finals.
Yeah.
If the Cleveland Cavaliers win the 2018 NBA Finals, I'll buy everyone who retweets this a jersey.
Is this person an idiot?
So that's what he tweeted.
Yeah.
Presently, there are over 72,000 retweets. That was yesterday. Then that number rose to 400,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I'm
As
right.
of this moment, it's probably far surpassed that.
When I retweeted, it was at $1.4 million. Or 1.4 million retweets.
And that's a jersey, which are just easy, $100.
Yeah, $100.
$100. So
the math
100
on this
million.
is a lot.
Yeah.
as of yesterday, when I crunched these numbers, it was $40 million in jerseys.
All right.
I don't think he's going to make good on this.
I don't think he's going to make good on it. Now, he only has one way out: is the wrong team wins, right, or the wrong team loses.
Yeah, if the Warriors win, which they will, that's what he's saying is the Cavaliers are not going to win.
Well,
But he wants them to win.
The Warriors will win.
Yeah, the
Warriors will
will
likely win.
The Warriors are going to win. Should we bet?
Yes, we totally should.
50 trillion Zimbabwean dollars?
Absolutely.
All right.
Because my guy, I got King James, man.
You do, yeah.
I do. James Paxton.
Really big maple.
Yeah, sure. You should see him outside.
Biggest maple.
In the Stanley Cup Game 2
Go
is
Tips.
tonight. The Washington Capitals versus the Tips of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Sometimes call them the Golden Knights. I'm not sure why we changed those names, but Vegas
Tip of the
is
sword, though, right?
Yeah.
leaving
Good
that
tips.
series 1-0. Sports is brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot.
What?
How could I forget about this? We've got a brand new season of American Ninja Warrior starting up tonight.
Can I tell you, in all sincerity, you'd be crazy to forget about that. Ever since, and I'm making up all these numbers, by the way, and I'm not saying they're off the top of my head. They're just wrong. But that's all right. It's still the idea of what I'm going to tell you. Since Sir Edmund Hillary went up to the top of Mount Everest because it was there and said, hey, let's climb this. Let's die in the snow. Let's be awful. Like 100 more people have gone up Mount Everest than have finished this game. This is
so
the most
hard.
amazing thing in the world.
These
American
are-
Ninja Warrior.
These are incredible athletes. American Ninja Warrior. Now, one of the hosts here, listen to her, Christine Leahy.
Yeah.
She is talking about season 10 and some of the differences.
It's so exciting to be in season 10 of American Ninja Warrior, and we're spicing things up. We have 2 warped walls for the qualifying round, and someone could win $10,000 for making it atop the 18-foot wall.
The
just
mega
to make it
warp
up that
yeah.
wall.
Yeah, so you only get one shot at the mega warp wall, the new wall they have that's 18 feet. So you can take your regular 3 shots at the normal warp wall, which is already nearly impossible.
Right.
Or you could take 1 shot at the mega warp wall, which is the new one. If you make it to the top, you get $10,000 right there.
That's insane.
The show can be heartbreaking too. Aside from you're on the edge of your seat and going crazy, but when somebody who's trained the last year and is telling some story about his kid or something, this is why I'm playing, and they just slip on something in the first 7 seconds, and that happens all the time. It really is amazing.
One of the other hosts, Matt Eisman, also talks about that it's not just about watching the competition, that these are real people.
I think the best part of this show are the stories we get to tell, because you realize it's not the obstacles they overcome on the course that people identify with, it's the obstacles they overcome off the course.
Pretty amazing. All right, so get ready for the 2-hour American Ninja Warrior premiere tonight at 8 on NBC. And then if you could relive the best moments of your life over and over, would you ever want to leave? Well, don't miss the premiere of the amazing new drama called Reverie tonight on NBC. So much good stuff, so don't forget, that's American Ninja Warrior tonight on NBC. All right, my friends, we have a big show in store for tomorrow.
We do?
Yes. So much big stuff is happening, right, Paul?
I can tell that you're not confident about what you're saying.
I don't even know what day it is.
Why are we doing something? Well, I mean, it's great to be doing something big tomorrow, but
Tomorrow is what, Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
7:50. I will hand deliver a filthy forecast. At 7:20, another chance to win the Father's Day gift pack, Battle at the Boat 116 tickets, and Rainier's tickets.
That's great right there, because you don't even have to do your Father's Day shopping.
Right.
now.
Yep.
You
Just
we'll
win
do
a
it for you,
game
yeah.
by knowing who's your daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Mariners tickets at 6:45. I'm not kidding. We got a jam-packed show tomorrow.
We do have a jam-packed show, but, you know, the entertainment never ends around here, because the life of the party is going to burst through that door any second, making a big kaboom sound, because that's what he does, because he's the silver fox. And Steve Slade's going to walk in the door any second, play a bunch of classic rock and roll for you, because that's the way he rolls. We will get out of his way. Bye.